Okay, ladies and gentlemen, are we here? I've just started up the after show, and here we go. Hi, kids. I've just started up the after show. Chrissy is away from the keyboard for a moment. I believe she said she's tinkling, and I'm hopefully the streaming speed is up to speed and everything's good. Um, Great to see you guys coming on over. There's Christy at the keyboard, and I see Natja, and I see Brian, and I see Snarky, and I see Antediluvian, and I feel like Miss Barbara with Romper Room and the Magic Mirror here. Uh, um, this was an absolutely wonderful talk that we had today, and I am absolutely impressed. I am floored. This has been so good, and I hope that you guys out in Lavender Ladyland there have been enjoying it. As I'll tell you what, Antediluvian, yeah, you want in? Come on in, absolutely. Do you have a Twitter account? I forget because I can send you a link to join. You don't have a link yet? We're gonna fix that. We gonna fix that. Yay, 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 yay. Oh my. That'll give Christy time to do what Christy's doing. Let me see here. Twitter. Where can I set this so everyone can see it? Oh, I'll tell you what. I'll put the um, I'll put the link in here in Neil's usual suspects for those of you who are part of that. And so Snarky, you'll have a link in. Natja, if you want to come in. Antediluvian Atheist, I forget whether you have a
Twitter?
that's the word for it. Thank you.
A tweeter?
Yeah,
Miss Snarky.
Howdy, y'all.
Hi, Snarky. How you
Hi.
doing?
I'm good. How are y'all?
Oh, a little bit this, a
Oh,
little bit that.
I heard you mention Romper Room.
Yes,
I
yes,
was a
yes.
child actor on Romper Room for 2 seasons when I was 4 and 5.
Oh
Oh.
my.
Yeah.
Um,
She was a crazy biatch. Oh, the camera would come on and she'd be like, and smiling and so sweet. And when it would come off, she'd be like, God, can you shut these kids out? Just awful. She was an awful person. Bad human.
We got the inside scoop, y'all.
All of our childhoods are destroyed.
Oh, yeah, she was a little bit crazy. My mom had my younger brother who was a baby at that time.
Oh,
He's
beautiful.
3 years younger than me. So he had colic, so he was fussy. And you couldn't, you know, control a baby that's fussy. And as soon as it would happen, my mom would be up on her way out. But it was not fast enough for this lady. I can't work like this.
Oh my god.
I'm pretty sure I asked her, I don't remember the exact words, but on the way home, does she not feel well? Like, I don't understand why she's crazy. Bipolar in the most stereotypical after TV special type of way.
Apparently.
Oh
Like
my word.
a diva or something?
Okay, there we go.
What you eating there, Christy?
Macaroni and cheese.
And you're sharing with the pupper.
No.
Okay, do we have
Yeah.
somebody? Do we have somebody coming in that I hadn't noticed yet?
Hey, Beanie Beanie.
Hello.
Hey, upside down man, how you doing?
Hey, pretty
Yeah,
good. How y'all
he's
doing?
off of work.
Oh, not that bad, not that bad. I'm having a little trouble ending up
Yee.
being an atheist. It's not letting me send you a message because you're not following me, unfortunately, on Twitter. If you
Oh,
want
that's
to
a
follow
travesty.
me, if you want to follow me, maybe I can send you the link that way, and maybe we can get somewhere. And as a matter of fact, I'll even follow you while we are at it. How's that sound?
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. I don't want to do
I
that.
put your Twitter handle in the chat too, so maybe that'll help. I don't know.
Whose? Christie's or mine?
Yours?
Oh, excuse me. Oh, my. Sorry for the burp there.
I didn't even notice. That didn't even register on the scale.
Okay, so it was not the 6 or 7 on the Richter scale that we just had in Alaska, huh?
No, definitely not. I think that was a 7.0.
Okay, okay, okay.
Whew, wow, I can't imagine. That would be really scary.
I would be terrified.
Mm-hmm.
I've
Yeah.
never, I've never been in an earthquake, so I can't.
Well, I haven't been in one, but I felt like aftershock from one before.
I
But
have
it
that.
was,
What?
I was just gonna say it wasn't that. It was just kind of like shudder and a boom, I guess. I don't know.
Okay. I have actually been in 2 earthquakes, and I don't even live in California.
Oh wow.
There was an earthquake
Wow.
with an epicenter in Lake Erie, just northeast of Cleveland. That one, I was at home, and the house shook like there was an M1A1 driving next to it. It was like, and
Yeah.
One more time, I didn't get that.
you mean like, and it's like, wait a minute, what the hell is going on? Oh my, it's an earthquake! Yay! You know, one of these deals. And then the other one was that earthquake with the epicenter in Virginia. If you
Mm-hmm.
remember the memes where you had the garden chair turned over, we will rebuild.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I felt that one. I was sitting at my desk at home, and I felt a very slight movement. What was that? That wasn't. And I looked over to my booze rack, and in the booze bottles, the level was oscillating a little bit. I said, "Son of a bitch, that was an earthquake."
Yeah, all I know about them is, what I've read and what I've watched and what I've seen. I've never experienced one. I actually got really curious about earthquakes watching all the earthquakes that are caused by fracking in states like Oklahoma that don't normally get them. I thought that was pretty fascinating. It got up to it was like 300 earthquakes in a short time period. I don't want to say what it was because I don't remember, but it was short, like a month or 2 months.
I
Of
remember
course,
hearing
not
that.
all 300 were super high, but
Yeah,
they registered as 300 earthquakes. Now, when the city said let's stop for a minute, when they slowed down fracking, so did the earthquakes. They slowed down as well.
Yeah, it was a correlation.
Yeah.
memory
I
serves.
do remember that.
Yeah, memory serves. We've had some of those out here because there's some fracking going on. As a matter of fact, oh, this one I was severely disappointed. There was a contract going out to do some fracking about 2.5 miles from my apartment, near one of the steel mills that is still running here in Pittsburgh. Um, and unfortunately, the mayor of the borough in which that fracking was going to be taking place was for it because of the increased jobs that would supposedly come of it. And normally he's extremely progressive. I don't know if any of
He
you
got paid.
say again.
He got paid. He got paid.
Yeah, I was going to just say that the one thing that will overdo the progressives is if you pay them enough. Just because
Yeah,
they're pretty much just
Right.
human like everyone
There
else.
should be no money in politics. It should
Gotta make it
not
illegal.
be a
Yeah.
profit-driven industry.
Obama was
Or
considered a progressive until big money got to him.
I don't know
Absolutely.
how many of you.
Well, he got elected on lies though. Like a
Yeah,
lot of what he
all of
was doing was
all of
pushing the progressive message just to get voted in. Like that was never really an agenda he held.
It seems that way, especially like if you look at Guantanamo and all that. But I mean, he did try to push for some of this stuff, and he was blocked on
He
every
got
turn.
pushed,
on everything.
but even the ones that he went for, like you're thinking, like I'm thinking of the gay rights one. He basically pushed into it. He wasn't really trying to push it from the start. He was pushed into it, and then
True.
when he finally went, okay, this is what the people overwhelmingly want. That's when he starts getting pushed back from the opposition.
Hello.
Hey,
Okay,
Evan.
yeah, okay.
Hey, buddy.
Hey,
What's going on,
how's,
guys?
how's the faithless man doing?
Pretty good now that I'm not working 24/7.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, okay. And Azria Hale, how you doing? And no, I'm not answering any emails lately. God, I'm so remiss on that. Shoot me. Oh Christ, I'm trying to remember what the heck.
Relax.
Say again.
If you're busy, you're busy. Relax.
Okay. Oh my. This is wonderful here that we've got going. Trying to remember what it was I was going to say, and I forgot what it was. You know, that's the darn thing about getting old. When you get old, the memory is the second thing to go, and I forget what the first is.
About the Obama thing, for me,
Oh, I remember now.
a
But
true progressive would never bail out banks that caused the problem that needed bailing out.
Yeah,
Bingo,
that
that's another
one.
great point.
I really need to sit and think about that sort of thing, because the bank caused it. They really don't deserve to be bailed out. But is there something bad that happens if you don't bail them out? That's what I don't know.
Right.
If there
Oh, they
is
didn't have
something,
much of a choice.
yeah,
But
and
it was something that was known to be on its way. Like it was known to happen, but they continued the risk. So there should
Right.
at least be some repercussions, or at least some added regulations to prevent it from being
oh
allowed
my.
to happen again.
Well,
Glass-Steagall.
we need Glass-Steagall back. Yeah, you and
Oh,
I.
and not just Glass-Steagall. I don't think that monopolies and democracy equals healthy democracy. So if you have monopolies and big, huge conglomerates that own, 60% of the banking industry, you're going to get problems because they see these huge numbers coming in. Somebody that makes $32,000 a year, they can't comprehend that. They don't care. There's nothing to do with what they do.
Yeah,
So
and
if it hurts,
Funny,
if it
out of
hurts
one
those
side of their
people, they
mouth,
don't care. So we
out of one side of their mouth, they'll be all for the monopoly. Like they'll be monopolizing these things to create bigger profit margins. But then out of the other side of their mouth, they're all saying, "Oh, the capitalism is all about free market and competitive, a competition." But then they
Yeah.
just buy everyone out and get rid of the competition.
yeah, and
No,
that's
that's
the
just
thing.
rhetoric.
That's the thing is like monopolies are supposed to be illegal in the United States, but they found ways of getting around that loopholes, so to
Ding,
speak.
ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, well, what was it that allegedly made monopolies illegal? Taft-Hartley, that was it. And immediately upon passage of that act, there were already exceptions getting built in. Major League Baseball is one of them, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Theodore
A lot of the sporting ones are, aren't they?
Theodore Roosevelt was a Republican. Am I correct?
Yes,
Yes.
but he was not. He was not the kind of Republican you see today.
No, he was an
Oh, no.
actual conservative. He conserved. Because of him, we have national parks.
Yes.
Because of
yes.
he broke up the trust. He started the antitrust thing. He was what a
It's
conservative
conserving the
should
wealth
be.
of the nation. Isn't that what a conservative is meant to be? And it's not wealth, just wealth as in economic wealth.
Values, and I know values
value.
is misused as a word, but
Yeah.
it's the best one I
And
can
that's
think
why
of.
it's sort of gone to a weird extreme where the Conservative Party these days aren't actually conserving anything.
No, they're not.
Right, they're conserving their own ass.
party. Yeah.
Is it
looks
me,
like
or-
they're conserving their relationship with Russian oligarchs at this point.
Very cool.
It seems to be that none of them really follow the precepts that they originally laid down, or even the ones that they espouse nowadays.
hmm
Yeah.
Maybe the Democrats are slightly less bad, but the Republicans, Jesus, what are they doing?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it's
not to be understated. The Democrats are not the best either. They are also doing
right.
some awful
Oh yeah,
things.
they're not heroes. They're just
I-
not Trump.
Yeah,
I mean, I hate
no,
to say
they're
it.
not the worst in the barrel.
Yeah, I mean, I do maintain a Democrat affiliation, and this is going to go to one of the questions or statements, I forget which, that was made in the original show. The reason I maintain a Democrat affiliation is to be able to vote in the primary elections. Unfortunately, Pennsylvania has what are known as closed primaries, to where you get a ballot that reflects the party to which you are affiliated. If you are not affiliated with Democrat or Republican, you cannot vote.
Yep.
Yeah,
At all.
well, go ahead. I was just,
Well,
Go-
my last words were cannot vote at all. You know, in
Yeah.
the primaries, yeah.
well, say what you will about the Democrats. They're not, of course, angels, but at least they have demonstrated respect for the system and the checks and balances of the United States.
Yeah, too
Yeah,
much.
This is true.
I'd say for the most part, the only
Almost to a
problem I
fault.
have with the Democratic Party are the call themselves conservative light. So they're the only ones I have a problem with. The people that say, I don't want to take $1 of corporate money. I don't want to take $1 of PAC money. I want my funding to come from the people. I want to go door to door and meet the people and find out what their problems are and how I can help.
Yeah,
Those are the people that we need in.
I know
Yeah.
what I know who that person is. Yeah, I do. Unfortunately, he lost the primary.
that was just so fair and square,
I mean,
right? I mean,
I was
Of
so
course.
sad
Yeah, because that
when
was
that
really
happened.
the Democrats respecting the system.
Yeah.
well, the system of superdelegates, yeah.
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 Yeah, and it's a handful of people that muck that up are the same handful of people that you can watch over the last over a decade. I'd say up to 15 years, maybe 16 years. It's that same group, Debbie Wasserman Schultz. This group right here they're so used to the system as it is and not wanting to rock the boat and wanting to
It's
work
the status
within
quo working for
work
them, so they
within
don't
the
want to.
status quo. Yep. Any
Yeah,
kind
they
of
don't want
change
to ruin it.
any kind of change to them feels like you're trying to hurt them. They don't realize that they work for the system, which is us, not for themselves. I don't care if you're uncomfortable. I want every politician that's doing wrong to think, if I wake up tomorrow, there's going to be, we'll use the mob word because that's what they like to use, that there's going to be a mob outside waiting for them to question them, to shame them, to make them feel uncomfortable. Of course, I don't think you should touch anybody. But if they fear that their constituents are going to be right outside their house door in the morning if they do wrong, they might act better.
Yeah, but then you're gonna get all kinds of tweets about, oh, just let them, live in peace, and they can't even eat
Let them do their
dinner. Oh,
Wah.
Yeah.
Reach Carlson alone.
He's a president, the president that lined up all the empty school buses front to back around the White House to protect him. Was it? It was MLK, so it was the civil rights. That it was that president.
So you're
mind's going
talking
blank right
would that be LBJ then?
Yes,
If-
yes. Okay.
Lyndon B. Johnson.
So
was-
he was so scared of what could happen because people were mad that he wasn't doing what they wanted done overwhelmingly. So he lined up buses around the White House, because at that time we didn't have a fence, because he was so scared that they were going to come in and get him and call me crazy. But that's how the person in that house should feel if they're doing wrong stuff.
Yeah, I say what you will about him. I didn't think that Kennedy would have pulled that.
I have one issue with what you're saying here, Christy, is that for the majority of the time, the current president isn't going to be there. He'll be in the Mar-a-Lago
Yeah.
or a golf course somewhere.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah.
AKA the Southern White House.
Oh, please.
Roll Tide.
The
Jesus
Winter White
Christ.
House.
How many words? The
The
Winter White
House,
House
yes.
and
Winter White House.
how many fucking bullshit names. He's just
I
a
mean,
slacker.
he just got in trouble. I know that they're not the arrest, but when the file, the whatever it's called, he got in trouble because Mar-a-Lago was selling golf balls
Oh, at a premium
with
because
his presidents. They're not allowed to do that,
right.
but he has.
Damn.
They've ceased making
What
them,
an idiot.
but he's fighting it. Ugh,
What is it? The 25th Amendment? That
And are
one?
they made in China? They
that's
have to
again-
be made in China, right?
Yeah, Snarky, you're referencing the amendment that contains the emolument clause.
Yes.
Oh shit!
craziness. The
Is that
25th.
is that the
what we would use-
25th?
The 25th is what we would use to get a president out because they're unstable.
Yeah,
Whatever
that's
words.
what
Yeah,
I
look it up.
thought.
Yeah, that's what I meant is the emoluments clause.
Yeah, emolument has been violated since day one.
And the
Oh,
25th Amendment.
oh! It's part of the original Constitution, Article 1, Section 9, Paragraph 8.
Ah.
Nice.
It is not part of an amendment.
I wish we could use the 25th on him.
Oh,
He is
here-
not.
I think we could if we had people that were not covering his ass.
well, here's the problem. You've
Yep.
got to get the cabinet to agree that he's nuts. And
Well, the cabinet doesn't stay in place very long now, does it?
you notice that, huh?
Yeah, it's like cabinet roulette and shit.
And then there's another problem here is I'm not sure that we wouldn't be in more trouble with President Pence. Because he's dangerous and not mentally unstable.
By this
Obviously.
point, he would be a lame duck. And
Yeah.
wouldn't he?
Yeah, I would think so. I think that personally, I think that if Pence took over, he would just coast out the rest of this term and either attempt for reelection or just back down. Like, because he's laid low so far.
You
I think that
notice
he's-
how low he's laying, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. I think at this point in time, if something were to happen, he would just go, and he would be a lame duck for the rest of the term and then either attempt to run for reelection and then enact some of his more crazy schemes. But I don't think that he's got enough time left in the term to actually do a whole lot if Trump were impeached.
Definitely. And he was
He would-
not reelectable.
Yeah, and he's not reelectable. So his only strategy would either to be just to go buck wild towards the end and get nothing done, or appear sane enough for the last election that everybody goes, well, at least he's not Trump, and then get reelected and do some of the crazy, like batshit stuff that he believes in. But I don't think that he's reelectable at all.
No.
I think that the best thing that he could do would to be in the presidency with some sort of dignity left intact, that the Republicans could possibly have a shot in 2020.
Yeah, actually, yeah. Impeachment would be a present to the fucking GOP.
No, I think
Really
that would be. I think that would be the. If I were a GOP strategist, that'd be what I'd be pushing for.
Yeah.
Is some sort of impeachment. Pence to come in and just do his job, not make any waves, just kind of coast out this last couple of years, and then come in with a really charismatic candidate in 2020, and we pretend that Trump didn't happen.
So my question would be, what the fuck is wrong with these guys? I mean, they're not thinking to the future. It's not
No, they're
smart.
not. They're not.
Well, let's not assume that the Republicans really think towards the future in the first place. I mean,
Well,
we're giving a little too much.
Isn't their future the end of the world when God comes and destroys everything?
That's Pence's future, yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's
I
definitely.
I find
the
myself
evangelical-
not wanting to strawman the Republicans, but then if I just think, if I was a stupid asshole Disney villain, what would I do? And then lo and behold, there it is on Facebook the next day.
Yeah,
Right,
really. Yeah, I'm doing my stationary cycle at the gym, and I'm watching it on Fox News, and it's like, God damn.
Yeah, it's like when you think they can't possibly get any worse, and it's like, oh, they're tear gassing children at the border. It's like, the fuck's sake. Now what?
Yeah,
That's
and defending the tear gassing of the children.
Yeah.
That's not a headline I ever thought I would see in my lifetime. That the
Yeah,
United
I'm
States
no
of
longer
America,
surprised.
It just breaks my heart more every time. And call me crazy, but I want the president of this country to be smarter than me. And I want the vice president to be smarter than me. I don't want to ever have a leader of this country that I feel I read out finding things on a map or a globe, like, and not knowing basic stuff. Like, our vice president doesn't understand what the word theory means,
Oh.
as in theory, or just I have a theory on why my dog eats poop. There's totally different things.
Yeah, that speculation.
Well,
Yeah.
but you got to understand. I mean, words are really hard.
Yes, they are.
An evangelical.
Nobody could have known that words were this hard.
It's
Yeah,
not like
I mean-
there's a book with all the words in it that helps you understand them or anything. I mean, that's just fucking
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah, y'all aren't giving our dear president and vice president enough credit. I mean, this is a really tough job. I mean, playing golf 5 days a week, shit gets old. It's tiring. Have you ever played golf? Didn't think so.
37%. That's the number. Trump has played golf. 37%.
The golf thing blows my mind
president.
because I
Is that
remember
include sleep time?
during Obama's presidency and like
Oh, yeah.
the amount of conservatives that were harping on how much he played golf. And I always thought, well, maybe he should play golf a little bit less. You are the president, but I understand that you need some off time and things like that. But this does seem a little excessive. And then Trump gets into office and he's playing golf like
Every other
infinitely
day.
more every other freaking day, like way more than Obama did. And you don't hear a freaking peep out of Fox News about his golf playing tendencies.
Nope.
Whereas every third, because at that point in time, I worked for an extremely conservative business owner, was an extremely conservative man, and I'm an independent by nature, but so it was always, every third day was ranting about how much Obama played golf, and then I'm still friends with this guy, and so I just hit him up about, well, what about Trump? Because he's playing golf way more than Obama ever did, and his answer was, well, Trump deserves it because he works harder on his own days than Obama did in a week. And I thought, no, come on now. That wasn't the complaint. The complaint was Obama's playing golf too much. So,
Now,
I mean,
Evans, you know that Trump is on that golf course making the best deals with the best people.
That's where
Yeah,
it does all the deals.
carving this country up a little finer amongst themselves, as George Carlin would say.
I mean,
It's tribalism. They'll say whatever they need to say to get their guy up and the other guy down. And if it turns out that they were wrong, they'll just say the other thing. And they don't care that it's back to front. It's because the whole point is to smash the other guy.
Yeah, all we care about is liberal tears.
Ugh.
Yeah, I mean, I
Triggering
think that's been
libs.
said a few times that a lot of the Republicans that then got screwed by Trump's policy
Mm-hmm.
voted for him. They would have voted for Hitler as long as he fucked over the liberals and made them cry.
Right. And what amazes me is, I don't know if it's still the case, but about 8 months ago or so, there was a news crew that went to Johnstown, Pennsylvania, which is not that far from here. It's very solidly red Pennsylvania, a lot of Trump support, asking them how they felt about what was going on, where they were finding themselves out of jobs as they were losing their jobs to the Trump administration's economic policies, that sort of thing. And they
Tariffs.
still said they would still vote for Trump. They still support him. It's like he's fucking killing you, and you're still why?
So, I mean, on a positive note, and I work a lot in the heavy steel industry, and so tariffs have really torn several of my customers slammed to pieces. And there are a lot of people that voted for Trump, especially in the steel industry, that are now totally like I've talked to a branch manager of a pipe company, and the steel tariff put them out of business. It's one of those things. If they don't get relief soon, they're going to be in serious trouble, similar to what's going on with GM and other places. And he told me that if he knew that this is what Trump would do, that he would have voted for Hillary in a heartbeat. You know, that he voted for Trump because he thought he was going to bring jobs back and he was on the blue collar side. And, you know, he kind of bought into the bullshit rhetoric. And then, but now that he sees what the policies that he's enacted have done, it's like, you know, anybody but somebody that's going to kill my job. You know, he talks about jobs and talks about jobs, but at the same time, now I'm having to worry to feed my family from these damn policies. So there is some backlash. I just don't think that it's ever. I don't think that it's noticed much. You know, I don't think it's something the media capitalizes on.
The Republicans are going to use Trump in the same way that the Democrats might be. It's like, yeah, well, Trump wasn't good, but, you know, we're not that guy, and we'll do all the things that Trump promised and didn't.
Yeah.
And these poor sods are going to get sucked into that the same way they did this time. And they're only going to change when they get hit 4 or 5 times in a row, by which stage, of course, it's too late.
I think that, you know, one of the ways that the Democratic Party really epically fails is they don't talk about the economy anymore.
No. Yeah.
People vote for their pocketbook. They don't, I mean, granted, some people vote on, you know, issues like abortion and yada, yada. But for the most part, everybody can agree. We want to have jobs. We want to have a good economy. So if they need to really work on their messaging.
I agree. And, you know, for the people that I can honestly empathize with the voter who thought at the bare minimum, if I vote for Hillary, nothing will change.
Yep.
At the max minimum, it will be minute and it won't hurt or better me. It won't do anything for me, the regular person. I'm so upset that I know this guy hasn't talked about, because he never, ever talked about a policy. Not once. And I'm a policy person. I need to know. And if you don't have anything, I don't care how awesome you are. I can't vote for you. So he was so good at changing the conversation when someone asked him about policy to feelings and the way he was going to help and who he cared about and who he didn't like, and sowing this whatever it is that he has. So I can empathize with the voter who said, with Hillary, nothing is going to change. But with him, minimum, things get a little better. Maximum, he breaks the fucking place. Like,
the system that failed them. Oh, boo-hoo. And, you know, when you appeal to people's emotions like that, it shuts off their reasonable ability.
Yeah, and have you seen the research that was done on conservative voters versus liberal voters when they watched their brain? Conservative people in general have higher areas of fear, and they're almost always a little bit lit up. And the liberal side doesn't. So when they show them these things and one side is just going off and he's all scared all the time, they have now a working scientific theory that fear is the best way to get people to vote for you if you want to go the way Trump has gone. It works. People are scared and they use it. It is the party of fear. It is the party of hate. And I don't know how to fix that except for to get people to be informed, be honestly informed, and talk about policy. Because part of the other part of that research was the same pool of conservative, liberal, independent voters Over 80% of this pool of people all were on the side of the left-leaning policies when rhetoric and person to vote for were taken out of it, when it was just the policy in front of them.
Yep.
They wanted health care for all. They wanted senior citizens to have a dignified life. They wanted Social Security to not be privatized. All the things that the Democrats say that they're fighting for. I think that if you lead with policy, like, here's the policy as it is. I know it's boring, but this is where we want it. But this is what I'm going to do to help us get us there. People like that. That's why Bernie's so popular, because that's what he does.
Yeah, and here's the thing. How do you get people to think that way? Well, how do you get them to think at all? Because just look at what's happening to the educational system and look who's doing it. And you've got to understand, by just looking at what they're doing, there's got to be a reason for it. And it is to get the thinking out of the equation, to let fear run the show. So how do you get that intellectual capacity back in? Because one of the sad things, for example, about this area, the Johnstown that I was talking about earlier is not that far away. That area, people are not well educated, and they're proud of it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Roll Tide.
Say again?
Roll Tide.
Alabama.
Yeah. So how do you get somebody who is disdainful of education to at least accept their kid getting an education?
That one's tough. I honestly don't know. I don't know. I do have people in my family who do say that they're proud, and they have animosity. I mean, real gut-wrenching animosity towards college graduates who not only graduated college, but went on to get their masters, went on to become professors. They think of the professors and the college educated as the elite. And I don't think that's when liberals hear them talking about elite, we think of the big mega rich. That's not who they're talking about. So we need to get these definitions right, because they're talking about, to them, the people who think they're better than them because they went to school, because they think they know things. That's who they're talking about.
Yeah,
that's sad.
When I went to the university, I took courses to become a lizard person and worship Satan.
Okay.
That's for damn sure. So
most girls go to college to have an abortion every weekend. That's what they think.
Yeah.
There you go.
Have
Yeah,
the
that's
same
it.
result.
Daily abortions, I have.
Mainly, exactly.
With the people who raised me, they would talk about appreciating education. Unfortunately, they were not speaking the same thing we're talking about. They wanted schooling. They appreciated going to learn a trade, not necessarily going for an advanced degree, such as
right.
I eventually wanted to try to do, and unfortunately I crashed and burned. Damn it.
Like carpentry? Like carpentry,
they
mechanical
thought
work,
of education as carpentry, electrical work,
yeah,
that sort of thing. Or even...
Those are honest. Those are badass, honest jobs.
Or even an MD or a JD.
And becoming rarer.
Because they would accept a doctor or a lawyer. Whereas, I'm looking at lawyers are definitely not educated, and even I'm looking at doctors, they're not educated. I like the way, when I went back to school, I like the way my faculty advisor put it, because we were talking about the engineering department, that when I was in school the first time, the slimy bastards had wanted me to go on an engineering track. We were talking, and he told me that engineers are well schooled but very poorly educated, and he has a point. Because you don't find very many engineers, or at least the rank and file engineers, who care much about Shakespeare or about the arts, that sort of thing. Um, I don't want to sound horrible, but
Literature.
yeah, thank you. Um, well, the MSB, the male slimy bastard, complained so much years and years after he quit school that when he went to Fenn College of Engineering, he had to take an English course. And I'm
Ugh.
thinking, well, yeah, because you've got to write the goddamn reports. You've
It's
got to know
core
how to do
curriculum.
that. Say
That's
again.
that's just core curriculum.
Yeah, you know. I mean, I look
Hey,
back
I was
at
shocked
it.
when I ran across my first creationist who thought that equality was a bad thing.
Oh, yoy.
Not
I mean,
just liberalism, but equality and education and just knowing
Yeah.
shit. It's like,
And what was their reason? Did they give you a reason for that? Because God created it this way, right?
no, they only turned out to be like religious later. No, their objection to equality was it leads to bad things.
What?
They couldn't list any of the bad
What?
things, but that was
I
their
was
claim.
about to ask what those bad things were. Okay, it's a good thing we know that they're gente
That's-
veteranta
I would
potrasieri.
imagine it would be something like abortion, and it's like,
Uh,
well, if that's bad, why is it the religious keep getting them?
yeah.
Why is it God does it in the Bible?
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that. I mean, abortion's bad, okay? So,
It's
that's-
like a discussion you expect to have
Just an
with a
opinion.
4-year-old.
hey, don't insult my 4-year-old like that.
Fair point. Fair point.
Well, the data is in, and it has been in, and it keeps reaffirming itself every time the year's end data comes in.
Now, don't care about them datas.
the states, the counties, the cities that are more conservative, that are more religious, that teach abstinence, have a significant more amount of abortions. And those areas are the areas that they've closed them down in.
Mm-hmm.
That blows my mind.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
can I
just fake
speculate
news.
as to why?
Fake news.
Fake
Can I
news.
speculate as to possibly why? Is it because that there are obviously a lot of pregnancies out of wedlock, and something to do with having to cover that or hide that pregnancy, and abortion is an obvious way to do that. And if you can get to it that in time,
That and
the
abstinence
fact that
only.
it has to be, yeah. Well, it sort of pinholes them all into one trajectory, and so more often than not, that's going to be the result. Whereas in other cultures, so to speak, you have more options before that.
Can't not have sex. It doesn't work.
No, we're all virgins around here. I know I am.
Yeah,
You
I've got
would
2
think
kids.
I was.
Hey, people are willing to die to get
It's
laid.
been long enough.
I got 2 kids, and I'm still a virgin.
Me and you both, Snarky. Roll Tide. Praise Jesus.
What is
Praise the
this?
Lord.
What is this sex of which you speak?
Bah,
Jeez.
humbug.
No, I have that conversation with conservatives all the time, especially on the anti-abortion. We know that the way to decrease abortions is proper sex education.
Yes.
Like that's like
Oh.
it's in there, that it's conclusive. And
Thank you.
And
you
access to
suggest
birth
that-
control.
yeah, access to birth control,
Yeah.
proper sexual education, all these things drastically reduce abortions. And whenever you bring that up to them, it's like, oh no, that can't work. We got to ban them abortions. And then I like to draw the parallel where it's like you're the one that's saying, well, you can't ban guns. I mean, the only thing with a good guy that can stop a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun. And you're like, well, you think that banning abortions is going to work, and the drugs is a good thing, but then you want to turn around and say such things as, well, banning guns, that just ain't gonna work. I mean, just look at that. Look at the prohibition. It's like it's one of those. These people aren't pro-life. They're
definitely
pro-birth.
not. No.
Yeah, they're
And-
not even pro-birth. They are just anti-abortion.
Yeah, and
Only thing.
I am not an advocate for abortion. I want to do everything in my power to reduce the numbers of abortions that happen. But I know that the way to do that is proper sexual education and access to birth control.
Yeah.
Like, I'd love it if we got to where there were 0 abortions. I believe in a woman's right to choose. Don't get me wrong here. But I would love to get to the point where sex education and access to birth control is accessible enough
Such
that we no
abortions are
longer,
not a necessity.
such that we can, that we don't have to do abortions anymore.
Yeah.
Because, like, let's get real, it's a touchy subject, and like I don't want anybody to have an abortion that doesn't have to, but at the same time, I think the access to it should be it's the woman's
Safe
choice.
and legal. Safe and legal.
Safe and legal, because let's face
Safe
it,
and
the
legal.
data's also in. Whenever you ban abortions, it doesn't the number of abortions, it decreases the number of safe abortions.
Yeah.
You
And
know?
it increases the amount of deaths
Yeah.
by pregnant women.
Yeah.
So they are not fucking pro-life. Because
No.
if they were, they would be carried about. If they were pro-life, worried about these children that just got gassed. They would be so worried about the starving
Yeah,
to
but they're poor
death.
people. They don't care.
85,000 children, like they're dead because they were hungry in Yemen. And I know I get excited and upset about it, but goddamn,
It's
85,000 children
frustrating
died
because
from being
we have the
hungry.
resources.
Well, one thing.
Right?
There's
Ugh.
no excuse for that in this. What we can do with what we have, it's just
Right.
this amazing amount of greed that keeps it in one area and one set of people, as opposed to those who actually need it. And it wouldn't make a huge difference to the economy if we actually worked something out for that.
Well,
Because
I mean,
it's actually only a small percent that would help.
Those are all multivariable issues too, because
Oh, absolutely.
you've got to
it's
look
not
at
something
the
you-
government in the area, that the aid that's sent is
Yeah.
not given to the people that needs to be sent to. I mean, it's definitely one of those things where we could do a lot more than we're doing, but it also has to be a local change as well, because whenever you send supplies over there and they don't get to the
Absolutely. It doesn't, because even
doesn't
if we
really
can
matter
only go so far.
Yeah, I mean, we can only go so far, and especially the things in Puerto Rico, which was more near and dear to my heart, because a good buddy of mine that I work with has family in Puerto Rico, and they sent things that got impounded by the government that never made it to their family, and it wasn't because, and these were things that I'd helped chip in, and like, hey, let's get these people generators and things like that, like food and stuff that they need, but
And
it didn't
candles.
matter because the shitty local ruling people didn't allow the aid to be distributed properly. So I mean, it's what's up, Russ?
Hiya.
Hey,
What's
Matt.
going on?
Hey, sweetie, how you doing?
Oh, it's another damn paradise around here.
Well, that's good timing. I have to go.
So another
Hello
thing
there.
about the abortion topic and poverty is, most of the time when they do the research on this topic, most of the reason that the women give who are interviewed as to why they have an abortion is for economic reasons. Either they're
Yes.
going to school, they're working, and the majority of them already have kids. They
Yep.
would not be able to. It would
Yeah.
be
Right.
economically feasible for them to have
See you
another
later.
kid.
Yeah, the
Yeah, I
statistics
think
show
somebody's heading
that.
off.
Oh,
Was,
bye.
was somebody saying goodbye? I just heard the voice.
Oh.
That was me. Bye bye.
Oh,
Have a good
Get off, buddy.
See you later.
All right.
Later.
Take
And
care.
have
Be
a good
good.
one.
Have fun. Something like
yeah.
that.
So the statistics show that the people who are getting abortions are usually the ones who already have children, and
Yeah.
this is because, like Snarky pointed out, it's financially unrealistic to have more than X amount of children, especially depending on where you live. It's not saying that everyone is off getting abortions, obviously, because if so, then we wouldn't
Right.
have areas where people are in excess of 1 million people in a small location. Like,
Yeah, I've
for
gotten two
instance,
this week.
Houston. But yeah, so we have a lot of this misunderstanding that people are out here just not, they're getting abortions all willy-nilly and just doing it just because they want to have no consequences for their action, type of thing. It's like, no, these people who are actually getting abortions have thought this through. They know exactly what the abortion entails. They know what would happen if they don't get it. And you are now saying that it is more acceptable to have these people bring a life into this world knowing that they cannot financially take care of it, and then tell them that, oh, well, there's other ways, and these other ways usually are, of course, are adoption, but as we all know, adoptions don't exactly go well. uh, Sometimes even babies and other children tend to stay in the system all the way up until they're 18, and then they're just adults and they can go fuck off.
Yeah, they age
Yeah.
out of the system. Yeah.
Well, I
Exactly.
only have
So-
abortions to kill babies. So,
Well, of course.
just we can clear
So that
up.
way, yeah. So that way, it makes it easier to eat them if they're
Yeah.
already
I was gonna say,
not
yes.
putting
Yeah,
up a
it
fight.
makes it makes it a whole lot easier, and I like them tender and juicy and young.
Like, you know,
So-
they act like
on.
it's some kind of elective procedure, like getting your nose
Right.
some shit. But you know,
Right.
even with the adoption thing, it's like, well, it takes a toll on a woman's body to give birth.
He could
to carry
die.
a child. It
Right, she
changes
could die.
physiologically and could potentially kill her. Like this isn't just some kind of little thing. Oh, I'll just give birth. I've had
Yeah.
2 kids. That shit was not easy.
It wasn't rough for me at all. I mean, watching my wife give birth didn't
I
affect
know.
me much. I got a little less sleep, but I don't see what all the hubbub's about.
I mean, these women, they just act like it's such a terrible thing.
I know it didn't.
My
I
daughter
wasn't
broke my tailbone on her way out. My
Yeah.
first daughter.
I'm crying
Yeah.
river.
Like a violent-
My tailbone.
violent
You know,
little kid.
you know why that happened? You know why that happened? I had a hangnail.
Yeah,
It just and it hurt so bad.
I mean, I had to drive her all the way to the hospital, and I was pretty sleepy.
I had
Oh,
look while his wife was screaming, he had to put up with it. I mean,
Yeah.
come on now.
I'm imagining a lot of divorces happening soon.
And who was making your dinners?
well,
Who was
it's-
making
Well, I
your
actually do
food?
all the cooking in the house, so that didn't really
Same
change.
here.
But
Same here.
your body,
Oh.
seriously though, your body goes through significant changes.
Yes.
I know I gained like 80 pounds after my
Yeah.
kid was born.
God.
You're classic,
Yeah.
man.
You get like pregnancy diabetes a lot of the time, and it's just, oh my god, it's so
What
much.
I wonder if there are any statistics at all out there on these quiverful women who are having, 15, 16 kids. What is the death rate there? I'd really like
Probably-
to know.
The thing is with these quiverful people who,
They don't go to the hospital.
yeah, they if you have a child and due to whatever circumstances that child dies, they are going to make sure that none of that is actually, let's just say, it'll get hushed up.
Yeah. Well, that's why I said the statistics are not there to be had. I wish they were,
No.
and I wish I could know them.
I mean, for instance, so the Quiverful movement is mixed up in with the new IFB, and as far as I can tell, not much has changed between the new and old IFB. And the old IFB, what they tended to do was you had men who would do sexual acts with young women, and then move these young women around to different churches in different states, and have their children over there, and then their children given to other families,
Oh my
and
god.
then they would just move them back. There's one young lady in particular who I came across a YouTube video about her story, where she said that her attacker was her friend's dad, and she was home alone because her parents and stuff were not there, and he then rapes her. He then also she was on her way. He was dropping her off at her house as for the second time when he raped her again. She then gets pregnant, and whenever it comes time for all this, she tells her parents, who they took it up to the church elders. And not only is she a victim in all of this, they made her go and apologize to her father, who was also sexually assaulting her.
Oh,
And then on top of this, whenever they brought this the whole entire thing in front of the church, that what
Yeah.
they made it sound like was that she had just had sex with her boyfriend and got pregnant, and they made it seem like it was a completely unrelated issue, that he had been unfaithful with his wife. They did not connect the two at all. They were just kind of like, here she is, do y'all forgive her for her actions? And here's this unrelated subject of this guy who was unfaithful with his wife, and do you forgive him of his actions? So then they moved from New Hampshire. They moved her from New Hampshire to Colorado, where she stays with a family that she did not know, where she then proceeds to have the child. And then she goes back home after the child's born, and she goes back to the exact same church, because of course this is all she's known, with her attacker still there, within proximity of her and everything. And they act like nothing ever happened.
oh, that is.
This is stuff that didn't come out until after she actually she was able to actually go in front of, I forget, I think it was like 60 Minutes or whatever, one of those shows, and told her story. So, and that's just one account. There are several. I've been in touch with quite a few women in particular who gave me the website to kind of a blog thing of all the women who had been assaulted by members of the IFB.
Oh my God.
Do you think you can link that blog in the chat, or are you driving?
I'm driving right now, but the only issue is I have to go and find it. I don't remember where it is, but it has blogs of a lot of different stories, and it's part of a video that I'm planning on doing.
Video?
Wait, you're doing a video?
Yeah.
Wait, you do videos?
You do videos?
I don't think
Jinx.
so.
Oh man, I didn't know this either until I started looking at my tablet and saw that I had all this stuff for videos, and I was like, wait a minute, I do those things?
Who is talking right now?
What is this?
I can't.
This is nonsense, complete and utter nonsense, I tell you.
Who is talking right now?
Oh my God, is that a horrible scarecrow from Iowa?
That doesn't sound like Miss Snarky.
The voice seems.
No, that's a weird sounding
I used to make videos, but I haven't heard him before.
I keep hearing this voice, but I haven't been in a chat with this individual in so long that I just cannot place it for the life of me. Who is this thing?
That was me. My voice just got deeper.
I was about to start playing that song, Somebody That I Used to Know.
Oh my God, no! Oh my God, I've been trapped. Like,
Oh my God.
seriously though, whenever you get a chance, Russ, post the blog and make sure you tag me in it so I can look over that stuff, because that's wow.
Oh yeah, I might actually send that to. I'll send it to you over Twitter, over DM.
Cool. Thank you.
Posting the usual suspects. I'd be interested in looking at that as well.
Okay. Yeah. She wanted me to know. The individual who gave me all this information, she wanted me to know that, she's like, I don't want any contact with the whole entire Steven Anderson movement thing going on.
ugh.
She's like, my story is strictly about my oh God, what's that word? My relationship with the IFB movement, not his movement, which is a completely separate movement. But I watched a video where Steven Anderson talks about problems of the old IFB, and he never brings up the assault. He never brings up the child abuse. There's one story of a young lady who she had been beaten with some kind of stick so badly that she could not sit down at school. And because all these children go to these fundamentalist Baptist schools, the teachers don't ever report any of it. They just sit there and tell them, stand up in the back of the class, and they stack boxes up for them to do their work on. One girl said that her sister had to stay home from school because she was so badly hurt from the beating that her father gave her the previous night that she could not get up out of bed at all. So he doesn't at all address any of these issues or these allegations. And I kind of understand why, because mostly what the people of the congregation are told are that all these people who make these allegations are lying sinners. And they do not represent the church or God. And so these are all horrible human beings that are bringing false allegations upon the pastor, upon their congregation, upon the church itself.
Yeah, and that's exactly the tactic that Scientology uses as well.
Yeah, and it is a completely and horrible ideology to follow because of this. Because you have these people who are literally saying, do not listen to the countless stories of abuse. Don't listen to them because of what I said. And what I said is these allegations that are happening against me are lies.
Yeah.
And you have an entire congregation who is pretty much, it's either you do as this person says, or you'll be shunned from the only life you've ever known.
Yeah, and to be shunned is devastating because you lose your whole family, everything you've ever known. So that's like one of the scariest things you can face. What I am wondering is he not talking about these things because he wants to continue that tradition of abuse? Or is it just that he doesn't want to stay in the name of the church, or both?
I think and I'm not going to speculate on, when I do my video, I'm not going to speculate anything at all. But all I'm going to say is that the fact that he doesn't say anything about it is very, very telling.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking.
Because in the same video, he sits there and talks about how he goes because one of the problems he said that the old IFB had was they had a separate place for their children to go and worship, not with the rest of the people. And he goes, look around you. He's like, my children are right there. He's like, they're being well behaved. And the way he says it almost sounds, I'm not insinuating anything, but it sounds very similar to the way someone who tends to be very abusive to their children.
Controlling.
It sounds, it sounds very controlling. It sounds very controlling. It's like, you behave or else.
You can't make me look bad, so you better behave. And
exactly.
If they're
those
afraid
children aren't behaving, they're terrified.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was going to say. If they are behaving, it's probably because they're scared to death.
Yeah. And is it wrong that I wish a whole bunch of big, strong men took him somewhere and didn't actually hurt him, but made him think they were going to for weeks on end? Is that wrong of me?
Well, like a Joe Biden kind of thing.
But the issues is with that is you have to also realize that people like Steven Anderson and Matt Powell, these are all victims in their own right, because you have these people who are being raised to do this. You like, if you like, for instance, if you grew up in a house where the father was raped all the females, including the children, and that's the only thing you've ever known, then whenever your husband starts to do it, you're gonna think that this is natural.
Yeah.
And so these are things that, you can't exactly just sit there and be like, oh, well, these are horrible human beings, because this is literally the only thing that they've been taught and know. If your child misbehaves, you beat them. If they keep misbehaving, you beat them harder, because the first beating wasn't good enough. And this is the type of mentality that these people have. And it's very unfortunate, and it's not necessarily their fault. It is definitely they're just definitely another victim in a line of victims.
Yeah.
And I am a humanist. I understand that so well. And I have empathy for them, and I wish that I could help them. But at what point does an adult take that? Like, I'm a child. I would never hurt a kid.
Yeah, it's definitely the way you have to understand it from a more fundamentalist perspective. So, as most people know, I was raised Southern Baptist. I was more of the lenient Southern Baptist, but we're still pretty much a hair length away from being fundamentalist. And I don't remember much about they never really addressed evolution, because for starters, you're in the Bible Belt here, and not very many people ever spoke about evolution. God created everything, and that's all you needed to know. But so I can almost see the perspective that they're coming from, because it's almost a perspective that could have been condoned by my church as well. And the thing is the way you get into these people's heads to figure out exactly what it is that is going on. The way they see it is children are to obey. If they do not obey, even the Bible teaches you that you need to, to sit there and correct them. And I mean, hell, there's even the whole entire passage of where you take your child up to the elders, tell them that, he's unruly, he's a drunk, yada, 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 and then they get stoned to death. I mean, these are passages that they would point to their children saying, look, either you listen or you will be beaten, because this is how you are to learn.
Yeah, I was
I
threatened
just want
with
to point out that
that
Reefer
kind.
Madness is not real. You can't get stoned to death. Sorry. I would be terribly placed.
Well, I
I've
think
been crying for years.
I think beyond just that, especially in the conservative Christian, sort of the Southern Baptist, I was raised split Pentecostal and Southern Baptist, very fundamentalist. I was homeschooled, told that evolution was a lie, perpetuated by Satan, that. So I was very steeped in these cultures, very close to, not quite as radical as the super fundy Baptists, but still pretty darn fundamentalist. And there's the notion, especially within the church, that if your children are misbehaving, it's a reflection poorly upon yourself. The parent is not doing their job properly if the child is misbehaving. And of course, the spare the rod, spoil the child. Beating your children is what you do. I mean, that's the only method of discipline that is remotely even talked about or encouraged. And of course, at the point in time, my wife and I are gentle parents after a lot of deep research and many papers and, really trying to do the best for our kids. But whenever our daughter was first born, we spanked her. That's all we knew. you know?
Yeah.
And then luckily my wife is incredibly empathetic and thought, God, I feel terrible every time that I lay hands on my child. There has to be a better way, which catalyzed a frenzied research and how do we do this? And now, of course, our kids are beautiful and healthy, and they don't remember any of that, and they find it abhorrent that other people, you know, like a year-old comes home and whenever she's been playing with friends and goes like, well, you know, so and so's mom beat him, you know, with a belt. Like, what in the fuck's going on with that? So but these people just don't know any better. And
No.
like, and what frustrated was saying, you know, especially with the case of like Steven Anderson and Matt Powell, feel deeply sorry for these people. They didn't come to this on their own. Make no mistake, Steven Andersons and Matt Powell's are bred, not because of their own volition. You know,
that's why Cersei's video was, you know, that they're just symptoms of an actual root problem.
And how you break that is still a topic of intense study for myself. Because how do you bring, like, I know my exit from the faith, and I know if had I stayed in, I would be an ultra fundamentalist, evolutionary denying, child beating, wife be subservient, Southern dude. Like, there's no doubt in my mind that's the path that I was headed on. Luckily, I made it away from that, and I understand my journey, but I don't think that my journey is applicable to many people other than myself. And so, you know, the only thing that I can think of to do is share how I escaped, and hope likes a cord up with somebody else, and then figure out, you know, that's what I like about what Neil does and other people do with the kind of the deconversion stories, is to destigmatize some of this, because it's, you know, I was programmed from childhood to hate atheists, you know, like,
and I sat there and made a thread on Twitter when it came around, when Thanksgiving was here, where I talked about my over at the barn that we have our horses at. They the girl who runs it is Christian, but she isn't any kind of hardcore Christian type of thing. But her mom is also Christian, and she knew that I was an atheist, but she never brought it up because the way I think of it is I think that she doesn't want to bring it up around me, because she knows then we'd be getting into the point that could be questioning or trying her faith in the religion. So she doesn't ever bring it up to me. Well, somehow one day the topic does come up, and so she eventually says, you know, you're not like what I thought. And I was like, what does that mean? And she says, you aren't, you know, this, you're not trying to, you don't bash my faith, or, you know, you don't bash the fact that I'm religious, and you don't ever actually bring it up with me. And it just kind of showed me how, you know, it shows me how people have this very big stigma. And I know, because I was there too at one point in time, but they have this stigma that atheists are just these people who are out to find you and say, oh, you believe in God? You're a fucking idiot. And
no,
it's not the case.
I totally get that, because I actually came out openly as an atheist via a blog post on Facebook. Because, and I was, so well, I mean, I wouldn't say brave, but
you were like, here I am.
That's basically what it was. And I was sort of kind of quasi-closeted for a while, and then I thought, you know, in the spirit of open debate and discussion and things like that, and in the spirit of activism and kind of destigmatizing atheism, I decided, hey, look, this is what I'm going to do. So I wrote my first blog post and just published it to Facebook. And like the amount of people that came up to me after that friends and family and things like that, they were like, no, you're not an atheist. Not really, you know, because, you know, because you're not angry and you don't eat babies and you don't worship Satan, and like this characterization that people have of atheists. This one, that's this basically the sole reason that I decided to come out, because I knew all these people that knew and liked and things like that. Because before I was extremely closed off about my spirituality. That was something that, if it came up, it was something that was extremely personal. So I just shut the conversation. But after I saw the way that the sort of the atheist was characterized, I said, you know what? Let's rock some people's worlds. And it was like, there's no way that you're actually an atheist. So, I mean, I understand exactly where these people are coming from, unfortunately. And so it gives me a little more sympathy for people like Steven Anderson and Matt Powell, because I maybe not as radical as they are, but I've been close, you know. So
Yeah, and so
they're fed the narrative.
Yeah, and that's all it really is. It's pretty much a long line of progression, and you got to think this started all the way back in the 40s. That's when these this splinter, 30s. That's when the splinter group of what was Protestants and Baptists became fundamentalist, and they started doing these type of things, and so it comes from a long line of, this is how I was taught, because this is how my parents were taught, because this is how their parents were taught, because this is how their parents were taught, all the way to the point where it still keeps going, only because that is how it was until a certain shift in society that said this is no longer acceptable, and they didn't like it, so they said, well, fuck you, society, we'll go off on our own and still do it. So
yeah, also in that time period, the 1930s, there was so much turmoil in this country that helped fuel that whole Christian right that we have today is because of that era. We wanted to, the northern states had desegregated, and they were, it still took a decade, and then another decade, and another decade for some of the states. But that's when it started, and they were KKK became in KKK was in like the Thanksgiving Day parades everywhere, marching.
As a matter of fact, this is where were you at, Chrissy, as far as state wise?
I'm in Florida.
Okay, so well, I'm in Texas. So this is a fun fact. So the town, I'm sure y'all probably recognize it because earlier in the year it was known from the school shooting, but Santa Fe. I'm one town over from Santa Fe. Santa Fe is one of the towns I grew up between the town I'm currently in and Santa Fe. And so growing up, it had the nickname called Clan of Fe because the clan's headquarters used to be there, and B, it used to be a very, very racist town. There was actually a sign that said, as you were driving in, "Welcome to Santa Fe. Don't let the sun set on your black ass." Right. And so this town, my cousin, and this is back in, oh God, I want to say like the late 90s, early 2000s ish. She actually had to go to school, or it may have even been mid 90s, but she was in public school, and she had to go to the fair that was currently there. And her teacher said that the class was to go to the KKK booth that was at the fair and actually speak to them. My aunt was completely and utterly pissed. And she said, no, my daughter's not going to be doing that. But the fact that the school found it okay for that to happen tells you what kind of town this is. And so I understand this whole entire thing. And racism is something that you kind of had to not exactly get used to around here, but it was a big subject of debate. And it was a big thing that a lot of people, even when I was going through high school, talked about. Because on one town, the town that I'm currently in, 90% of the high school is black kids. Whereas the other Santa Fe, which is where I actually graduated from, was 99%, like almost 99% white kids, and not only white kids, but they grew up they grew up with parents that grew up in a town in a time frame where racism was almost acceptable, and so
Still segregated.
Yeah,
Still segregated. Wow.
now, thank goodness they have actually gotten better. They want to show everybody else around that they're no longer that was part of their past. That they are now more accepting. As a matter of fact, when I was going through high school there, they actually had a class or a club for the LGBT community. And so, which is really a step in the right direction for this town, since they are such a very big Christian town.
The town that I live in this year is the first year that a black student has been allowed at the public school. Give you an idea of that segregation is still alive and very well. This is the first year in the history of the current local Christian academy that they have allowed as they put it, a colored kid to go to school there. So
yeah,
still here, 2018. We finally have our first colored kid in school, and we're all celebrating because that's just a wonderful show of diversity.
Just for the record,
racism is over.
I was not laughing at what y'all were talking about. I was laughing at Godless Iowan in the live.
Yeah, I read it.
Silly.
Ha ha! That's awesome, Matt.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, if I was at the house, I would take the worst Iowan, but
See, you can't.
it would just be
you just ripped the same joke.
I did.
You can't take.
I did, but you know why? You know why mine is actually funnier? Because everyone knows that only shit comes out of Iowa.
Oh,
I don't think it works. I still don't
says
think
the guy
It's
from
corny.
Texas.
It's corny shit at that.
You
corny shit at that.
That would have
have
worked.
more cattle
If you added that at
so there's
first.
more
Would have
shit
been
there.
Yes, but you are nothing but a big corny shit is all you are.
God damn.
I know you are, but what am I?
Snarky, get your man.
Why is the island popping in the background of Mrs. Snarky's and not actually jumping in?
I know, because he's being a punk ass bitch.
I'm sorry. I wasn't being a punk ass bitch frustrated. See, I was doing this thing called making videos.
Right.
Inspired.
I have three videos coming out this week and a live stream.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty good. You thought I was gonna make a joke out of that, but no, that's great.
Yeah, because how many are you bringing out this week, Russ?
I'm gonna be in one live stream, not on my channel, of course, because my channel doesn't have any kind of reach. But I will be on a channel. I'll be on Sir's channel tomorrow with R and Raw and Atheist Rationale. Sirs, of course. It'd be a little odd if he wasn't out on his own channel. And Bionic Dance.
Why was that?
Huh?
I think I saw that. Yeah, I think I saw. What?
Yeah.
I'll have to work out when that's going to be my time because
it's 1:30 p.m. It's 1:30 p.m. I'm guessing Sir's time. I didn't really pay attention to what time frame you put. So.
I'll have to catch. I'll have to catch that one. That'll be good.
I didn't hear what he said at all.
He
so
said because
it doesn't
that's
count.
not important.
Yeah, no, that part's not important. The fact that I'm gonna be there is the important part. But when it's gonna happen is not important whatsoever.
Wait,
I don't need to know any of that.
Is this gonna be during the middle of the workday?
It's tomorrow, so that's actually at the beginning of the work. Well, it's in the middle of the workday. Yeah.
Oh my. Well, I mean,
Bunch of jerks.
I'll be home. Because I obviously don't have a job. I just do this housewife thing. It doesn't pay very well, let me tell you.
But you get the poll.
Yeah, I get the poll. Yeah.
Okay. So it's 1:30. It's 1:30 p.m. Eastern time, So it's 12:30 Central.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
man, that's a terrible time to have a stream. I'll be working. Think about me while I'm slaving away.
I will, and you know what? I'll be like, ha, because I'm off.
Yeah, jerk.
Diana.
But I love you.
Did Diana fall asleep?
No, we're not asleep. We're just yawning.
I saw that.
She's getting there, is what she's saying.
Speaking of sleep, I've actually got to get off of here and do some of that tonight. 3:30 comes mighty early in the morning, so.
Oh
It
wow.
was
Yeah.
great talking to you.
Yeah, it's always awesome to talk to you, Evans.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Appreciate it, guys. Y'all take it
Enjoy
easy.
it.
You be
Bye.
good.
Have a
Have
good
fun.
one, man.
I
It
know
was
they're
great
mutually
chatting with
exclusive. Do the best you can.
Gotcha, brother.
That evil grin he had when he left. I like that. Oh, speaking of things that I like, are those Christmas trees on your head, Christy? Oh, that's so cute. Oh, look at that. They look like cookies. Oh my God, I want cookies now.
Cookie. Me love cookie. Cookie.
C is for cookie. That's good enough for me.
Oh, goodness. Well, we've covered a lot of very heavy topics tonight, and
Yeah.
Yeah, that is kind of true there.
I'm glad we haven't lost our sense of humor, though. That's
No, never.
never. I don't think we would have survived this administration so far if we'd lost it. But
Well, it's only half over. That's the problem.
oh yeah, but I mean, this has been 2 fucking long years. I mean, really long years.
Like excruciatingly long years.
Oh my God, I thought it was supposed to like fly by when you get older, but these past couple
I
years.
gotta tell you, from the outside, the last couple of years have sort of gone quick. Because it's just with so much bullshit news, and it's just like so much a new day, all this new crap, and then all of a sudden you realize, holy shit, that thing that was so crazy happened 2 years ago. You know, like I didn't realize Trump had even finished his first year yet. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So that for me to think, oh, he's like what into his 3rd year or something now? Did you say? It's like, fuck yeah.
Well, yeah, his
It's gonna be
3rd
over
year.
before you know it.
Just
His 3rd
rub
year
it in
will
their
begin
faces,
at the end of January.
Look, Nacha, if you're gonna keep saying these kind of things, we can no longer be
You realize
friends.
we've probably gone through about 5 PMs in that time, like, and none of them have we elected. So yeah, go us.
Yay!
The darn
It's
thing
funny.
is, though, I remember Watergate. I was in high school during the Watergate crisis, and it was a constitutional crisis. I was not terrified. I knew things would more or less level themselves out.
Well, people were taking it
I am
seriously.
terrified
Also.
now. I have no confidence that anything will be set right anymore.
Well, think about back then. You had most people on both sides and in the middle saying, "What is if he's bad, he needs to be in trouble. He needs to be held accountable." We don't really have that right now.
Yeah.
We have people covering for him, and people being hired that are lifetime long fixers at the Justice Department. What is going on? Yeah, it is scary. Yeah. Got that
As
right.
I said earlier, I don't know what to do. I don't know if we are going to have a democracy when this is over, no matter which way it goes, for good or for ill.
Well, one good thing that is providing me with comfort right now is the Mueller investigation is still ongoing.
Yes.
And they're not asking permission from Whitaker to in any of these proceedings that are going on. And you have guilty pleas from people who have testified before Congress admitting that they had lied to Congress.
Right.
Yeah,
so we're seeing some progress.
Yeah, I saw the one about Cohen.
Yep, Michael Cohen. Polls? What polls?
Right.
Oh my god.
Right.
Uh,
Yeah.
that was so much
The Mueller thing, I would give off. I would sell a foot to be in a room when no one's there and know they're not going to be there for at least a day, just to go through the papers, just to read what is in there. I don't know. I'm a nerd.
Do you think the PP tape is legit?
I mean, I wouldn't put it past someone who the vitriol that came out, the birther movement, came from Trump. Trump's birthed that.
What?
And so for him to have a bed that Obama slept in with his wife, I mean, I wouldn't put it past him to have girls pee on the bed.
Well, one thing is for damn sure, they were trying to make a deal for Trump Tower Moscow.
Yes.
With the bank that has sanctions on it.
Well,
from
that's the
Russia.
one that worries me more than any PP tape does.
Yeah, exactly.
The Alpha
And
Bank.
we have proof of that now, and more is coming out. It's leaking, so to speak, or it's being made public. It's legally being made public now.
I want to know. I want to know how wide that net is going to be. I want to know who's going to get caught in it, because this is where the person holding the position of Speaker of the House becomes very important.
Oh, well,
If that net is wide enough, and I hope it is, to catch the top two, maybe we, could have some degree of sanity restored to the Oval Office. Maybe. I don't know. Hey, Johnny.
Hey.
How are you?
I made it.
Hey.
I made it.
You did.
I'm really good. How you guys?
Oh, a little bit this, a little bit that.
Good
Go
night,
for
good
me,
night.
go for you. What am I talking about? I have no idea.
It's good to see you. I loved your song.
Oh, thank you.
Hell yeah.
It took me so long to get in here as I was cleaning up down here because I've been kind of trapped and locked myself in the basement for a couple days doing my recording.
What? It wasn't about any members of the alpaca family or anything, was it?
No. It's a song I wrote. I wrote this about 3 months ago. I wrote it, and I finally got it down on the tracks.
Alrighty.
Let me hear it. Let me hear it right now, live.
Right
Let's
now?
go.
Go to my channel, and it's right on it. It's right up. The last video I
That's
put up.
nothing to me. I will definitely do that. I will definitely do that.
Yeah,
got a
there's
notch
that
on
certain ambiance with a live
Hell yeah, it
performance
does.
there,
But for some reason, one of the shots got turned upside down. I'm like, I know, I'll put Nacha.
Jeez.
I greatly appreciate that. That was. I must tell you, I did actually secretly, like, I don't know, half an hour ago, whenever it was, I muted myself and I watched that video while I was on this stream because I got the word that I had a little cameo in it, and so I was like, oh my god, I can't wait! I gotta go and watch it now.
You're so funny.
I was so excited.
Yeah, I mean,
I really am. It was awesome. Yeah, everyone,
I look forward to watching.
Have anyone got it linked yet in the chat or?
Yeah, I linked his channel in there.
Okay, well I'll get that video for you.
All rock and roll.
Yeah, that was actually really cool.
Yeah,
I mean, I love your style of like the videos because I love things that are just random and I have to look into what the meaning is. Like, too many video clips are just, oh, this is the storyline of the song, and we're gonna do
This
a little
is a
dramatic
story all
thing.
about how my life got turned upside. Oh, sorry.
I'd like to take
How can you put the
Actually, thought you were gonna go into that. This is the story of a girl
Who got a river and drowned the whole world?
around the whole
Why she
world.
looks so sad in the photographs. I absolutely love her.
When she smiles.
I'm not here.
Phone. Somebody pick up the phone. Oh my god.
Oh my god. Even with the deep voice, that sounded very Valley.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Oh my
I'm
god!
glad. Oh my god.
Oh my god!
Ermagerd.
Oh my god. Where's they?
Ermagerd.
I know, right?
Oh my god.
I cannot say that without thinking about that video. That was so funny.
Oh yes.
Well, there's two
I think
videos.
he's done.
now, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say he's done another one too on it.
Yeah, Mr. Ermagerd.
Ermagerd.
So when Irma, the hurricane, when the Hurricane Irma was coming, we had to board up all our windows and bunker down for the night. And we took hot pink paint and painted on all the stuff we boarded up the whole place up with, and wrote Ermagerd or Ermageddon. And
That's awesome.
That's a lot
There we
better
go.
than Ike take a hike.
yeah, Ermageddon.
Yeah, that's pretty lame.
Yeah, it is lame.
If it was Ike, I would use like kick the baby. Don't kick the baby, kick the baby, but turn it into the hurricane.
No,
You know?
kick the baby.
So
No puppies, no kittens, and babies unless we're eating them.
I was just in the gas station, and dude
No.
but dude who knew my sister, my youngest sister, she's because I told him because I had the tablet on the counter, and all y'all's pictures were there, and he's like, "Who are you talking to?" I was like, "All these people," and they're like, he's like, "Who are all those people?" He's like, "You're talking to all of them?" I was like, "Yeah, this is in Google Hangouts." And I said, "That's me," and I showed him my avatar, and he's like, "What the hell?" And I was like, "Yeah," and so he's like, "What is all this? What are y'all talking about? What are y'all talking about?" I was like, a lot of different things. I was like, I'm an atheist YouTuber, and these are all atheist YouTubers, and we kind of just do stuff and do videos and whatnot.
You just added yourself to the gas guy?
Well, I don't give a shit. That's the thing, is I tell anybody and everybody. As a matter of fact, on my Facebook, if you look under religion, it says atheist. So if anybody who knows me doesn't know now that I'm an atheist, it's like, why? I mean, I'm not hiding it, so I don't know why you're so shocked. Oh my goodness.
This is
But
something- this is something I'd really like to see change, though, with regard to religion. It seems to have a big part in the lives of so many people. I was on the cycle at the gym earlier today, and there's a row of televisions hanging from the ceiling. CNN is on one of them, and they gave a full 10 minutes to an interview with Bush 41's family priest. Talking about, what the hell? Why do you have to talk to a priest about this guy who just died?
Well, we gotta have confirmation that he's in the heaven with.
Or then you have the whole entire.
Now.
There was something like that in the conversation, that he was a man of such great faith, and it's like, Jesus.
Yeah, and he
I
was,
just threw up in
he
my
was
mouth.
so grabby.
He was such a war criminal.
There's one word that I want to get rid of. It's the word faith. It's such a shitty word. Hell it means is take somebody's word for it. That's all it is.
But you don't want to talk to some people I've dealt with when it comes to faith, because they won't leave you alone about it.
They consider it a sacred word. That's a faith. I have faith.
Well, I'm sure that's not quite what George Michael meant by faith. But
to have faith.
Well, I knew a girl with faith.
And there are certain people who will remain nameless, who will go on and on and on and on and on about what faith is and isn't, and what atheism is and isn't. It's just like, leave it alone already.
Yeah, well,
And what is and isn't, and isn't is and isn't.
Can you read the Greek though? I mean, if you don't read the Greek.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Jones.
Yes, you have to sit there and be able to get into the minds of these people now, Diana. You know this already. I mean, how many times have we been telling you that you have to be in the minds of these people to understand what they were saying.
Yeah, preferably with the mushrooms.
Yeah, you have to be
Yes.
Miss Cleo. Call me now. I'll tell you what call was
Exactly.
the thing.
Call.
She was from New York.
Exactly.
She wasn't even Jamaican.
$20 a minute.
Fake news.
Accent.
Now I'm
Oh,
Italian.
but I didn't get to finish what I was saying about him. Was after I explained to him that all of us are YouTubers and all of us are atheists. He says, "He goes, wait a minute."
Well,
he goes,
not all of us actually make videos, do they?
hey, I got something.
Many either,
Nacha. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, I'm
Anyways, he says, he goes, wait a minute. He's like, you're an atheist. I was like, yes. He goes, but your sister's a Christian. And I was like, yeah. And he's like, how does that work out? I was like, well, we were both raised Southern Baptist right down at the church over there. I was like, and when I was 25, I realized I'm an atheist. And then I was, he's like, oh, okay.
The one I like to tell, I don't know if I've said it around here lately, is the slimy bastards raised my sister and me Roman Catholic, whereupon she found Jesus and I found Carl Sagan.
Yeah.
Because she went full-blown Pentecostal. And God, was she ever annoying.
I just want to take a moment to say, Hail Sagan!
There you go.
Those Pentecostals fucking suck.
Yeah, I know.
Wait a minute.
Screw them.
I heard that sucking was preferable.
It depends on the context.
Or what.
You don't want.
You have to get in the minds. Now,
Hey, frustrated. You don't want somebody speaking in tongues as they're sucking.
It actually works better with the tongue.
Did any of you guys see the Asian girl on Facebook with the game and then her tongue?
Yeah, I don't know any of that nonsense. I haven't been on Facebook in forever. But I will have to say this real quick.
It's on my page.
Well,
Like the first thing
Nacha can't even get on Facebook, so let's just say that. But anyways, Iowan, did I ever tell you the story of my first Pentecostal experience?
I don't think so.
Oh, I have to go now, but remind me to recant this story to you.
Okay, so that's always the best thing to do.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Well,
I can make a video.
Hey,
let me tell you.
This really interesting story.
This is a great story, but I'm gonna go.
Did you hear what he said?
Well, I have a wife that will be mad at me if I don't feed her because, well, it's my wife, and she will be mad.
Until she hears what you were saying. Until she hears what you're saying earlier in the stream.
Look, she doesn't listen to my things. She doesn't care for.
Please tell me you have Jack Crack.
I have what?
Jack Crack.
Jack Crack? Oh no, no, she doesn't want that tonight. But I know I love Jack Crack, but she doesn't like it. Well, she does. It's not that she doesn't like it. It's just that we weren't eating it. But love you guys. Gotta go.
You too,
Bye.
buddy. Have a great one, mate.
I'll tell you what, Matt. I'll fill in for what Russ left off. Did I ever describe Anne to you, my sister? She was the one who would proudly tell me all about going to the Denny's in Columbus, Ohio after church with a whole bunch of the congregation and doing the slain in the spirit, rolling around on the floor in Denny's and speaking in tongues in Denny's, and it was taken as completely normal.
She was that kind of Pentecostal.
You got it. Yeah.
Like, I had an experience once, and I think I might have talked about it on my channel once, where another Pentecostal minister came up to me at Walmart and was just chatting with me. and he asked me how I had been, and I said, "Well, I'm kind of sick right now." And instantly, he starts screaming in tongues and praying over me, and I'm like, "No, this ain't cool."
I would have ran up and interpreted for him.
I'm like, this isn't cool. This is really weird. Why are you doing this here?
Yeah.
What do
and when Anne was always a little crazy, but when she found Jesus, she just went off the deep end. It's like she moved to another planet entirely. No sense left in that little head or anything like that.
That born again thing, is that what it is?
Yeah, that sort of thing. The other thing is, I just hope that her last thought was of her Jesus, and okay, now it's over, and she's out of everybody's hair, and everything's fine. Yeah, she died 11 years ago.
But, then her energy got converted into something else already.
Yeah, pretty much. Burst cerebral aneurysm, and
Christy, you got an antenna in your head.
Christmas trees.
Cool.
Doesn't she remind you of Ray Walston?
Yeah.
It sounded like you said they're Christmas titties.
Thank you.
I would like some of those, so I wouldn't have to do these damn fake things.
So would I.
What do you
Probably
put
for a
like?
different reason.
You put like mistletoe over your nipples or something?
No, I do.
Kiss me, it's Christmas, baby.
Yeah, Nacha, you don't realize this, but because you didn't celebrate Christmas, but everybody who celebrates Christmas gets Christmas titties. So yeah,
I've been stepping on all the Christmas titties for almost 30 years. So that's a lot of Christmas titties I'm going to need.
So now you just need 30
better
Christmas titties on Christmas this year.
Y'all better send some funds my way, because I've got a few phone calls I'm going to have to make.
I'll let you figure out where we put the star at.
Oh my.
We'll work it out.
Oh wow.
I'll fit it somewhere.
Oh, I'm sorry, Christy. I started a thing.
That's freaking hilarious. I love it.
Gotta watch
We're
those
not
things
sure
that
what
you
this
start.
thing is, but it's a thing.
Hey, Faye,
Well, that's normally
hi.
what they call it.
Get in here, Faye.
Wonderly.
Yay.
On your belly button, Mark.
You already have the link. Just get in here.
You've missed lots of stuff and things.
Yes.
With people. And there was talking and conversations. And there was laughs, and there was emotions, and there was tears.
There was even
it was a roller
crying,
coaster.
unfortunately. Yeah, there was crying,
It
unfortunately.
was a hell of a stream.
That was what do you call it? Appropriate. It was appropriate. And I think that your input is beautiful. So
heavy reflection.
I agree.
Hey, Nacha.
Hey, Matt.
You're only 100 subs away from your goal.
Did I get another one? Oh my god, I hit 900.
All right. Hey.
Refresh.
Hey. Yeah, Faye, you'd better get in here so you can tell me how Beej is doing, or maybe I can find Beej.
I'm confused now.
Who was it?
Beej was, I think, 3 or 8 followers off of 1,500.
Oh.
Hey, Faye.
Hey.
Do you know about Beej's numbers for followers before her birthday?
She needs 8 followers, so to hit her
She still
goal.
needs 8. Okay.
Link her.
I love her. She's so nice.
She's a big sweetie. Well, you are so nice too, as far as that goes.
What's her goal?
5,000.
Say again? Or no, 5,000. That's it.
She only needs 6 now.
Hey, now we're
So
talking.
she's gotten 2 more since the last time I looked.
Yay! 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 That was way off key.
Well, the thing is, she was only like 16 away, but she can't seem to make it. It would be nice if we could get her there before for it.
Link her in the chat.
I will. I will.
Her birthday is Tuesday, right?
It's in 2 days.
Her
Okay,
birthday
Sunday plus 2 days. Tuesday, last I checked. Yeah.
So hold on. Ah.
Bum, bum. Bum, 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 bum.
Maybe you should sub Brantley. Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, what are you doing? Why is that even a question? Come on.
Do the thing.
Thing and stuff.
Thing and stuff?
And speaking of stuff and things, I haven't seen Sai in a while. At least a day. I haven't seen Sai Strike in a while.
Oh, that's a long time.
Yeah, he often would come by the shows, and I hadn't seen him. I wonder what he's up to.
Oh, what am I thinking? What am I trying to do? Help me.
Do I look clairvoyant to you?
I'm still working on telepathy. I'm not quite there yet.
You're Lincoln B.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm doing.
I already did it.
It didn't come
What a
out.
legend.
Oh, show off. Oh.
No, he didn't, Faye.
Oh, you. Oh.
Yes, I did.
It didn't show up as a link.
It's there now.
Let me
Oh,
see.
it is there.
Ha 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 ha.
Well, guess what? I'm competing. I'm gonna do it if. Here. Yeah.
Now would you
yeah.
break? Okay, there you go. Oh no! Landon said the horrible word that brings on the apocalypse.
Oh no!
Uh-oh.
Oh no, you did not. Oh no, you did not. You're competing with me? Oh, you? Oh. Oh.
Stop spamming! Ah!
Wow.
I will get you back.
Oh, she's only 4 away now.
Yay!
Oh my goodness, oh my gracious.
And Nacha, 99.
Holy crap. That's awesome. I haven't even finished writing out the tweet for the 100. God damn it.
Are you complaining? Oh.
No. What
well,
the?
okay,
fuck
I
is
might as well
happening
throw
with
my
that?
2 cents in. I'm 109 away from 1,000 followers.
Nice.
Twitter.
Excellent.
No, unfortunately,
Ooh, that's
subs
It
is
took
only
me
2.
5 years. It took me 5 years to get that.
I'm already following her. I knew it. Darn it.
What, 1,000 Twitter followers?
Yeah, it took me like over 5 years to get that.
Oh my! Well, you certainly helped the count back in the early days, Faye. 'Cause you were throwing my name wherever it would fit, and I thank you for that.
You're welcome.
You like that one, Nacha?
Maybe a little.
Well, I've been promoting Nacho a little bit.
Little.
I've been, and I've noticed, and I've been very appreciative.
Does it work
Like
though?
a combination of.
Is that backwards? By the way.
I can't really pinpoint whose it's coming from, but generally a lot of the shout outs that have been happening for me trying to get to 1K, I've noticed a massive dump of new subscribers. So it must be working.
Yeah, it helps.
I haven't really been putting out a lot of videos.
But Nacha, this goes with the conversation that we just had. I was just subscribed to by someone called Nipple Crates.
What?
So
that's one of my stock accounts.
Maybe I can send them your way, and you can have the Christmas titties.
I'm the one who needs the Christmas titties.
Oh lordy! Oh good lordy!
Jeez, man.
crates too.
Why would you
The
just
fuck?
want crates of nipples? That's
That's very Ed Gein.
Hey,
That's some weird fetish.
I have a request though, a serious request.
Yes, dear.
Can you guys follow Lily?
I already have.
Oh, okay.
Me too.
She's only got 53 followers on Twitter.
Oh man.
And you know how Twitter kind of like restricts smaller accounts?
Yes.
Like if you tweet too much, people will they'll shadow ban you and shit.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember that. Oh God, do I remember that?
She's still in the she's so limited thing, and I want her to
Who is
do
it?
well.
Who is it, Faye?
See
Lily.
the young lady that was streaming with Faye this morning.
Yeah, and she's an absolute doll, and she's just so smart and interesting, and like her channel is the same as her like Twitter like name, but I just put it in the chat.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
it's like, wow, So if you guys could, invite her on your channels and maybe give her a little shout out here and there.
Working on that right at the moment. Let's see.
I mean, yeah, I'm interested in getting Nacha to 1,000 too, but like this poor girl can't get anything done at 53 followers.
Well, Beej is one away right now.
All right.
Excellent.
That makes me want to make another account and sub to her.
That's not the same.
Well, technically, I am subbed on 2 accounts.
Probably shouldn't say that.
Why?
It's
Wonder Lady is different than Lady Girl Person.
She uses them for different reasons.
It's not like I created
I
it
do
just to sub
understand.
to her.
No, I know. I'm pretty sure if it's run by the same person.
Yeah, I have to have her on both accounts though, or I'll miss something. Terry, thank you.
No.
Yay.
They're asking for her Twitter. I went. They're asking for her Twitter.
We both said it like 1,000 times.
I know. Just scroll up. We kind of had a spam contest. Landon, scroll up.
What are you doing, Matthew?
Why have you forsaken me?
Oops, I put that in the wrong spot.
5,000.
Yay!
Yay!
That's awesome.
Yay.
Excellent.
Yay.
And
Yay.
also,
Yay.
Bob, I want you to follow this chick too. And follow her. Follow.
I just tweeted out a request for folks to follow her if they would so kindly do so.
And like the video. There's 16 people here and we don't have 16 likes. Come on.
Right.
Oh, she's at 5,001.
Well, I don't know. Is it fair to like my own video?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I wanted to know if that was kosher. Especially considering that it is now Hanukkah, I wanted to be kosher about it. And oh, shut up, Clarion.
I don't celebrate holidays, so.
Yay!
I do. I am a holiday junkie. I love the music.
I
love
celebrate
the
all
lights.
of them.
I love it.
I mean,
Thank you, Duke.
I'm the one who lights the menorah, and I was never Jewish. Yeah, it's just.
Oh, face it, you just want to play with fire.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I'm a pyromaniac.
So, Lily might be coming back on. She said
Good.
she'd come back on. I really liked her.
Oh, coming back on your show, your stream.
Right.
Great.
I really liked her.
Yeah.
And you know me. I'm like Miss Negative about everything.
I only caught the last part of the show because you and I overlapped as far as time went. I think we started our streams about the same time, and I came on when you had I think it was 60 minutes in or something like that. But
Something like
what I
that.
heard was really really good. Mark Caesar. Yeah, there's a story about that.
No, but I mean, like, I don't know. There's stuff and
Mark
things.
Caesar, I had mine removed before I could remember. Just. Oh,
I love how
one thing
B-Mills just throws his Twitter down there as a random shout out as well in the chat.
One thing I wanted to
love
ask,
you, buddy. That's awesome.
Faye, were you planning on doing Sunday morning live streams now, Faye?
No.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if we wanted
No, it just
if I wanted to move things around to leave things open for you.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
Okay.
You stay as you are.
Alrighty. We can do that. We can do that.
Yeah.
Cuervo.
I'll tell you, I get the complaints though. I think 2 or 3 people are, you're streaming too damn early. It's like, well, it's 10 a.m. over here. It's not my fault that you live on the West Coast.
Oh,
worry about it.
yeah, I wouldn't worry about it. I mean, it's your stream.
I'm being facetious.
They're gonna complain no matter what you do. You might as well do what you want.
Yeah. Well, I got nice and lucky. Antediluvian Atheist sent me a note mentioning that he wasn't able to tune into my stream live in the morning because it occurred at some insane hour for him. But he was actually able to tune into the one in the evening, which made me extremely happy. He's in New Zealand, so I think he's 1 time zone east of you, Nadja.
Where's this? I was focused on the chat for a second. Sorry.
Antediluvian Atheist had messaged me earlier about having trouble.
The one that was in earlier.
Yeah, I was so happy that he was able to tune into the main show this evening because he's in New Zealand. And his clock doesn't line up with mine too well, no matter what I do. Well, you know how it is, because you and I are, what, 15 hours apart?
Close enough. There somewhere. I can't remember exactly now. But you're on daylight savings now, aren't you, or you're not?
No, not anymore. That ended beginning of November.
Oh, so that's... Yeah, but like normally you have that process of switching.
It gets started a lot earlier.
That's what made the hour difference.
Yeah,
gotcha.
We fell back an hour on, I think it was the first Sunday in November.
So stupid.
Yeah, I know. I wish.
Oh, what's the matter with you?
I think it is dumbish. I voted. Everybody in the state voted. Everybody in all the states that I have family all were talking about how excited they were. They voted for it. We're never going to have to do it again. But like 30-something of the states of the whole country just slept on it. It's sitting in their courthouses just over there. Nobody even looked at it. So we had to. It's night. It's midnight at 5 o'clock, pretty much. It's so dark at 5:30.
It's 4:30 here and it's dark. Actually,
Yes.
the sun hasn't come out properly for weeks. But that's beside the point.
Somebody broke the sun.
Yeah, it's called California burnt the fuck down.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Haven't had clear skies in a while, and all the clouds look like they've been, well, if it was toilet paper, it would be used.
Okay.
Present.
Yeah, I have to wonder how people on the east edge of a time zone actually manage. With okay, you and I, Faye, you're not exactly due north of me, but you're not that far off.
I'm north though.
Yeah. What I'm thinking, you're a bit east of me, but we're still close enough. But think of these people in Bangor, Maine, where the sun is going down at like 4 p.m.
Right.
And,
well, it's like 4:30 here, and it's dark.
Yeah. Well, we're in the middle of the time zone, so on that eastern end, it's a half hour earlier, and it's maybe not even 4 p.m. by the time sunset hits, and it's like, what the hell?
Speaking of dark, I'm gonna have to go, y'all.
Oh, darn you!
Come on.
Time for the I-wands.
Drive up here and shovel my driveway.
Well, I'm gonna see about talking to you tomorrow, Faye.
Yay!
Yeah.
You guys drive up here and shovel my driveway for me.
Oh yeah, I'll get right on that. I'll be there a little bit.
How much snow do you guys get?
I don't think we got any.
We got more stuff.
Yeah.
We did?
Yeah, I don't know yet.
Yeah, not very much.
Got about 8 inches here.
Holy
God,
hell.
you talk about the snow. It is 57 degrees here. We got a temperature spike right in the middle of nasty weather. I mean, it was like 29 yesterday, and it's going to be 29 tomorrow. But right now it's 57. It's like, what the hell?
We got
hit 48 degrees here yesterday.
Wow.
It was 60 at my mom's today.
Good night, y'all.
It was 83 today.
Night.
It was 83.
That's
83.
ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
Just I'm coming down and squatting in front of your place there, Christy.
That's why we have such a big homeless population, because survive outside.
After Christmas, I'm going back out to LA. So
yeah.
Are you?
Yeah. My brother wants me to do some stuff on his house. So.
Oh, he lives. Oh, okay. I was gonna say you're a glutton for punishment.
I don't know. I'd almost like to get out to LA one of these days.
Not me.
Well, not to live there. No, I haven't seen Al's face in person in 44 years. I'd like to say hi and have a beer with him as far as that goes, and maybe even see a game at Dodger Stadium. But I don't know that that's going to happen this week.
Batter.
And yeah, that's who I'm talking about as far as that goes. Now I am lucky in the sense that I got to see a game at Wrigley. That was last year. I almost felt like calling Al, and it was, hey, I'm going to be stopping in Chicago on my way to the solar eclipse. You want to take the seats that you and Broderick sat in while you were filming Ferris Bueller? But a busy person, he didn't do that. Oh well. That would have been fun.
Oh, it would have been pretty cool. Yeah, it would have been a little moment,
Yeah.
It sort of reminded me of Saul Macaulay Culkin being interviewed on one of them late night shows, comedy shows, and he was talking about how he'd get girlfriends that would still, Christmas time comes around and they, on one of the channels, you're going to find Home Alone. And the girlfriend's always sort of giving this look like, "Come on, let's watch it," you know. And he's, "All right, we'll watch it," you know, like, because they want that moment, you know.
Oh man, but I tell you, any baseball lovers in the group here, you got to get to Wrigley before you die. That place is beautiful.
I think I'll pass. No offense. I don't
think it'd be a
really
great
like
thing to see
sports that
for
much.
architecture.
You're not a sports ball
Yeah, I
person,
couldn't care
okay?
less about it.
I'm not a sports anything person unless it's like men's diving for the Olympics.
They're cool.
Hey.
They're cool.
I'm very shallow.
Come on.
Hopefully the pools aren't.
Come on over to the dark side.
I don't care if the pool's shallow, just as long as I get a little eye candy before I die.
No,
Hey,
but they're
come on
doing
over to the
diving,
dark
so
side. We have cookies.
I don't really care about team sports. I don't watch any. Stacy does. She's a
Swimming is good though. Swimming is very good.
I was a swimmer. I can watch swimming if it's Olympic level because there's
Olympic swimming.
It's exciting, but just regular, like Iowa State swimming, I don't really care. But my favorite sports are figure skating, gymnastics, and dancing.
I don't.
I like how it's like once the Iowans are gone, let's rag on Iowa.
I do like ice skating though. I have to admit.
Yes.
But
it's so rare to have the skills needed to skate that
I
it's
can't
worth
even walk
watching.
in a straight line, so I think figure skating's pretty damn impressive.
I own my own skates.
Of course.
I love them.
I bet you get to use them a lot in Florida.
I have roller skates.
Okay.
So there's a roller skating rink not too far from here, and they have adult nights. Every Sunday night is called Soul Roll, and not for any religious reasons. I'm just the only white person there.
Okay, fine.
And then that's the best night to go. The best music. I mean, the Commodores. Talking about good music. And then the other that's nice, like the whole CVB stuff. That's fun. But then I like Sunday night. Soul Roll's way better. It starts at 9 and goes to midnight. It's a lot of fun.
A girl I was dating years and years and years and years ago did roller dancing, but that's about as close as I got to any
They
of that.
still do it in teams in the middle. Like everybody skates around, but in the whole big middle, they're all doing line dances and skates. It's badass, actually.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
No.
And the average age on Sunday night, I would have to say, is like 55. And I'm 42. So it's anywhere from like 35 to 70. There's one 68-year-old guy who is one of the best skaters in there. He just gets it. I mean, gets it. Dancing the whole time.
It's pretty cool.
Like,
now, the most I ever did on roller skates was break my ankle.
I would need a Zimmer frame with wheels on it in order to roller
they
skate.
have these little walker things with wheels on them.
I'd need that.
No!
That's what I would need.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're made out of the plastic PVC pipe, with just like the little elbows for piping, holding them on, but glued. And then the bottom has little wheels that can spin any way, so you can just hold on to something and skate around. I haven't seen many adults use it, but not on Sunday night. Sunday night's for like adults that know how to skate. But I have seen adults and kids use it on like family night.
Oh no, rollerblading on MDMA? I think I'll pass. I'd consider rollerblading, but not on ecstasy.
How thick does the
no.
MDMA? How thick does the MDMA have to be
Molly.
for it to be strong enough to roll on?
Yeah.
Took a second.
Oh, Mark. Thanks, buddy. For your age. I remember my mom telling me as a teenager about a woman, one of her clients, who I said, my mom said, don't you dare ever say that to her. You tell her she looks nice and end it there. Don't ever tell a woman she looks good for her age. I was like 14. I didn't know any better. I thought it was hilarious. But men say stuff like that all the time. We give you guys you're not in trouble for it.
I was taught approximately that age when I was really young, because teachers probably gave us this impression that no matter what age the lady looked, and obviously I'm a kid looking up at an adult, so it doesn't matter what age this adult is. If she's female, she's 21.
You know what the funny thing is, though, and I still don't get why this happens, but I am almost always taken to be 10 to 15 years younger than I am. And I don't get that. And I joke, I'll say, maybe it's because I didn't have kids or something, but they're always, everybody's taking me in my 40s or early 50s. And it's like, okay, I mean, I'll take it, but
imagine what they'd say if you done yourself up with some makeup and decked yourself out, all prissy, or I don't know, like what the term is for looking nice, like you're going to the prom or something, or whatever you might call it, out on a date, Imagine that'd take another 10 years off.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate that I don't know how to do that stuff. I never learned not being able to present as a girl back at the age when you usually learn these things.
No, of course. I was just thinking there's somebody...
They come off with my bra, Mark. That's why they're so perky.
Nice.
Sorry, I dropped my face cream.
Oh my. Yeah, so there are other times.
It's that time of year where I have to wear moisturizer every night.
Yep.
Okay.
And I don't even live where you live, but yeah, I understand. I put Vaseline all over my feet. I wash them in really hot water just to put Vaseline all over them and hurry up and put a cotton sock on. Just so when I wake up, they feel so good.
I put Vaseline on my face.
Yeah, I use it to take my makeup off.
I let it soak in for like an hour before I go to bed.
Yeah, I just put it's so thin right in my mouth, and then I use collagen moisturizer with honey that I make myself.
Yep.
And I put that on and just sleep. When I wake up, I just wash with the washcloth.
You're putting honey on your face.
Yeah, I
make
do
a
too.
mask that's
because I'm
I make a mask. I make a mask that's 2 ingredients. You get a rose, any color rose that you want. You drop it into a mason jar. You cover that rose with honey just so it's covered. Set it outside in the sun. 72 hours later, when the honey is a water texture, because it takes all of these things from the rose, that's a mask for your face. That's what
I'm thinking of the way a certain Iowan would react to being slathered with honey. Oh, reacted as far as that goes.
It's the best way to keep your skin clear, though, and perfect.
Yep. Into the bathtub. So after I get done washing my face and I rinse that off, I just pour some of that into my hand, leave it all over my face while I do whatever, and I only wash it off with cool water. And I never ever wash my face with hot, like burning hot water, ever. Or my hair. My hair never gets hot water. So,
okay, I'm going to have to remember that.
Hot water, the science of it is your hair, if you look at a strand of hair underneath a microscope, it has like all these scales going down it.
Yes.
Well, hot water will open them up. And if you don't close them back down, you will have, if you don't close them back down, you will have frizzy, fluffy, dry hair. So if you just never put hot water in your hair, you never open them up or teach them to be open. So the whole thing as a hairstylist, the thing that you want to teach your clients to do is to keep their hair shaft nice and smooth and closed. And to do that, you never wash your hair ever in your life. You never wash your hair, but you do wash your scalp where there's skin. You scrub your scalp all you want. The shampoo will rinse through and clean it, but to go like this in your hair is like, it makes my heart break. I die a little inside when I see someone do that. So you teach them to, you need to wash your hair down here, you just pull your hands through when you're rinsing it. And that will pull all the shampoo or dirt through that you ever need to get through here. And then you want to squeeze out all the water. And if you use conditioner, that's when you add your conditioner and you comb it through and you leave it in and you rinse it in cold water. And what that does is any of the conditioner that was able to get inside those scales that go down your hair, if you were to use warm water, they open up and let it all fly away. But if you don't and you use cool water, they stay closed or get even tighter. From here down, I use freezing cold water. I just have to stand way over here and rinse it so it doesn't touch me.
Yeah. I was going to say, I don't do well with cold water.
Well, in the wintertime, I wash my hair in the kitchen sink every time. After I'm out of the shower in warm clothes, I go to the kitchen sink and wash my hair.
Okay, that makes sense. It actually does.
Yeah, because I don't like to shiver.
Well, the one thing I'll do as far as taking a shower goes, when I take a shower at home, is my bathroom is reasonably small, so I will turn the water on full hot, coming down with the shower, close the bathroom door, and do something for about 10 minutes.
Right.
And then come back to this dense fog.
Yeah, that's nice.
100% humidity. And the physics behind that is that the water is not evaporating from you all that quickly when you step out of the shower because the air is already 100% relative humidity. And it's the water evaporating from you that makes you feel cold when you step out of the shower.
Yep. It is. Yes, it is. Yep, I live in 100% humidity, aka Tampa.
Yeah.
It's hard to lose. Yeah, it's awful.
Now the only problem is when I shower at the gym, I can't do that because it's too expensive.
And the gyms keep it so cold in there with the air conditioning.
Yeah.
And the floor, the tile floor, feels like it's 10 degrees everywhere.
Yes.
Sucks. You wish you could hover.
I like it cold.
Yeah, upstate New York, right?
Yep, I like it cold.
Of course. So beautiful there, though, in the fall. I like the trees falling.
We barely got any display this year because the weather's all screwed up.
Wow.
Yeah, we got essentially nothing down here in Pittsburgh as well. It went from green to nothing.
Wow.
72 hours of tree display, and then it was over.
Brantley sent me pictures in October outside, a little video of snow falling everywhere, or the first week of November or last week of October. And I thought, that's a lot of snow for Halloween time. But
we usually have it, but we didn't this year.
Hey guys, I'm going to get out of here. Thanks very much for having me.
Thank you for coming by. Seriously.
Not a problem. I'm always glad I can catch something because when I come home from work, sometimes everything's already over. So
are you going to make content?
Me, yeah, that's exactly what I'm about to do.
Okay.
I have a Christmas video coming out.
Yay.
Probably not going to be a very fun one, though. But yeah, okay. Thank you very much. Much love to everybody. and I shall catch you all around.
Take care,
care.
Mikey.
Love yous. See ya.
Love you, sweetie.
Later, mate.
Bye.
Well done.
And then there were 4. Let's do the Agatha Christie thing here. I hear a banjo.
You do?
Squeal!
Squeal like a pig, boy. See, I had some inappropriately young parents. My mom had me at age 15. She turned 16 a week after I was born.
Oh, really?
So there was all the funny stuff that they thought was funny, which most teenagers and young adults would. That's what I mean. I could stay up all night Saturday night at any age if I wanted to watch Saturday Night Live. I'd always fall asleep, but I grew up to the Blues Brothers way before my friends at school or the private Christian school had any idea what. I loved that, but the Squeal Like a Pig, Deliverance. My parents didn't know. They didn't really know that all that was in it when they first. I mean, we're talking about putting in a cassette tape, VHS tape, and then hitting play. So my parents would be back here sitting on the sofa, and the kids would be on the floor, and my mom would, hit play, turn it up. So that's what we did as kids, was hit play. And no, I don't remember what part it was, but it was after the Squeal Like a Pig. So whatever happened right after there, my mom was like, hit stop, hit stop, hit stop. So I didn't get to see any more until I was a lot older, but I remember the Squeal Like a Pig boy. I'll never forget that. That's funny. I was like 8.
That's hysterical.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a very negative view of people that talk like that from a very early age.
Oh, one day we're gonna have to talk beauty products, honey.
Yay. Yeah,
I know.
I should no, if I can turn this.
What are you going to show us? Your beauty product wall. Yep.
Oh, I'm in the way. Let's see. That's the salon.
Holy shit, man. What don't you have in there?
Yeah. Oh, everything. Everything. This is just the shears that I use on a regular basis.
Wow.
Yeah. But I really, I couldn't see doing anything else. I love it. I love color. Close all that. And some of my favorite ones. These are called Black Cocks.
Okay.
I had to buy them. Are you kidding me? I was like, wait, where are those that are called that? I didn't know what they looked like. I just needed a pair of shears in my hand that I could say, give me my black cock, or put my black cock in my hand.
That's hysterical.
Eek.
And they have tiny little black roosters on them.
Oh.
They're black. That's
cute.
It is cute. Yeah. Some of them have dragons, like literally in the middle. Because there was a time when I thought it was really cool that my Chinese sign was a dragon and that it meant something.
Mine is
So
a
I paid
dog.
Those shears, I probably would never do this now. Like, I know I would never do this now because they have dragons on them. Pay, almost $900 for a pair of shears because they have. That's how much that brand cost. But it was a little bit more because they had dragons on them.
That is almost as much as I receive from Social Security in a month.
Yeah, this was a while ago. It's like 2012. That would have been how much I made in a day doing a wedding.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. And I get to write that off in my taxes. It's part of my job. Duh. So all the black clothes from where I worked, everybody always had to wear black. If I bought something and it said black on it, whether it was shoes, I mean, it obviously was for work. Where else would I be wearing all black? But it was cool that I got to write, not completely off, but get a break from investing back into myself. But shears I tried to get a pair of shears only till you need to, I mean, they'll last forever, good ones, but you have to have them sharpened and you have to take care of them and you have to oil them and they have to go in something to keep them safe. They can't hit the ground. There's a lot. And you want to spend at least $400 on a pair of good shears, or don't expect to get the looks that you want. You want it to slide through hair like butter, and it's only going to do that. Cheap ones will do that. A pair of $200 shears will do that for about 6 weeks before you start noticing they pull on the hair. They're just not made the same. Life, right? If you want it to be amazing, you gotta sell an organ for it.
Oh.
Ah, you're also a dragon. Yeah. I think dragon's pretty much the coolest Chinese sign. It's a biased thing, but dragons are badass.
You're talking about your shears there. My
Yeah.
Chinese sign
or
is.
Mine's a dog.
What is it?
Mine's a cock. You're
Monkey.
the chicken. You're the chicken.
Dinosaurs are badass.
I love it. I have a friend, but that's one of their luckiest ones on the Chinese calendar.
Which what? The year of the rooster?
Yeah.
Okay. Too bad it doesn't work. Oh shit.
Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
Now
I think
what did you did?
Oh, I was.
Oh, looks like somebody woke up.
Yeah.
Hey you.
Wicked.
What is you doing over
She
there?
has been. She's been watching you talk and yawning and staring at the camera.
You is the kiddiness. Yes, you is the kiddiness. Yes. What?
Oh, she said, "Love me, mommy, love me."
Yeah, now I can't do anything else. Now that I start to pet the kitty, it's like, come on, hand.
Yes, that's so cute that she does that. We have a cat that does that, but you'll be this close to your mouth with a fork of something, and she'll pull the fork down.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Over and over. Yeah, she's funny. Because if she spills it, she might get at least a piece that fell.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's her reasoning.
Oh, you should see this one
She
go
is a
after
good
my.
fatty.
You should see this one go after my grilled cheese sandwiches.
Yeah, they
Yes,
love
you.
cheese. Oh, she's so cute.
You.
So yeah. Oh, baby.
You is that kiddiness? Yes. I suppose
Mine's
you like it here,
asleep.
huh?
Mine's
So
asleep.
Oh, the other night, Wonder Lady, who are you talking to? I don't remember who you were talking to, but your cat was so loud.
What, snoring?
No. Ow. Ow. Like just talking, and I'm not a good cat impersonator.
Yeah,
Hey, Duke,
well,
hi.
that's because she sounds like a fucking barn door.
Yeah, that's it.
It's not even real meow. It's just.
I think it was Beelzebub, and you had asked like a really good question, and then there was silence because he was really thinking about.
And then Patsy goes.
Yes, it was so funny, and not just once, but a few times.
Yeah, because like every like 4 hours she demands a food tribute. So if I'm not on it, she's just. So every time I go to stream or something, I have to give her a little bit of food to make sure she doesn't like howl the whole time.
I could hear you. It sounded like you were opening up a little package or something. So in my head, you're like opening treats, like, shh, hurry up and take this and get out of here.
Exactly. She's on my case. I swear, she is just always on my case. So like, what do you call it? I go to like record with Snarky for that the Seneca thing, the anger thing. So beforehand, I'm like, I have to feed the cat really quick. You know what she's like.
Oh no.
And if I don't, she's like, she'll stand on her hind feet, tap me on the shoulder while I'm sitting in the chair, and just be like, meh, the whole time. It's awful.
See, this is the thing, Brantley. Mr. Brant, whatever. Supposed to plug it into the wall, and then we plug it into the wall right here, and then this side plugs into the computer, and then this one goes and plugs into the wall, and then plugs into the modem. And it's supposed to make it so that like I'm plugged right into the modem, but out here. So I'm excited. It has really good reviews.
Yay!
My dork daughter, who was like, "Mom, let's read the reviews first." She's so funny. I had never accepted money like that on my phone or anything. I was like, Isabel, what am I supposed to do?
Aww.
I just handed it to her. I'm like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. She was like, seriously, Mom? All right. I got it. Well, it looks like you're supposed to go order this with this money.
What was that?
They're coming to take us away.
That was Duke going supernova.
I knew it. I know it.
Supernova.
They're coming to take me away to the funny farm where life is beautiful all the time.
And I'll be
happy to see those nice young men in their clean white suits, and they're coming to take me away. That song. What is that? 1961, 1962.
A little
Something
later.
like
A
that.
little later than that.
Yeah.
My cousin, excuse me, would play that on his bootleg radio station. I think I was about 8 years old at the time. So I'm thinking maybe it was 65, something like that. And the most fun about that record, you had that song on the A side. You know what the B side was?
What?
That song backwards.
I think I had it. What was it?
It was that song backwards. Even the label was printed backwards.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. Let me see.
I want to dye my hair.
Oh my gosh, I wish we lived closer.
Oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my.
I do. Oh my gosh, I would have so much fun doing your hair.
Probably.
My friend Peggy is always after me. I want to dye your hair. I want to dye your hair. And it's like, Peggy, I like it the way it is. I want to dye your hair. Say again?
Color at all. I would not change your color at all.
That's what I tell her.
At all.
I like the way my hair is going.
No, you're a no fuss. You don't want to wake up and spend an hour or two every day, and you don't want to have to be a slave to color, which depending on how fast your hair grows, could be every 3 to 12 weeks that you would need to get your roots done.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to get that pale blonde and whiteness that you have going. That only comes naturally, and people that get that should never change it.
Yeah.
Ever.
My sister's hair went white.
I would do a deep conditioning, a keratin treatment probably for you, so you wouldn't have any frizz. And then all you would need after that is a treatment that you can do at home on every 4th or 5th shampoo. You just leave it in for 10 minutes.
I was going to ask if the hot oil treatment would do any good or not.
I wouldn't do hot oil treatment.
Okay.
At all. No, I wouldn't do hot oil treatment. Any detangling / leave-in, like a spray that you wash your hair, and when you get out of the shower, you spray it from like mid down and comb it through. Yeah, something like that. Everybody's hair needs a leave-in conditioner, but yours, especially in the wintertime, you'll notice a big difference because it will just hold down the floof. My hair is air dried right now too, and it would be twice as fluffy as it would be like 3 times. It'd be like this fluffy right now because it's so humid outside. If I didn't when I first get out, I put it's like a silicone shine serum just so I can, detangle from the mid down. And then when I come out here, I add this stuff that's called ultra straightening silk, and it's a clear silicone gel. It's really thick. I use about a nickel size on one side from here down, a nickel size on the other side. And when I'm done with that, I comb it, and then I grab one more thing that helps hold humidity out. So, I layer it on thick because,
Well, you live in Florida.
And it's down there.
There's the one thing I wish. I wish I could grow my hair like that. But this is it. This is about as long as it's gone.
That's not abnormal. That's not abnormal, Diana. A lot of people's hair has like a tipping point where it looks amazing until it gets to this point, and then no matter how much I let it grow, I always need it cut at this point. The trims, it's a good length though. In the summertime, that's really long and hot.
Oh yeah, I can feel the heat in the summer. I'll say screw the lines of the face and pull it back in a ponytail because I wear my hair down because I need all the visual cues I can get. At least in my eyes, when I'm looking in the mirror, if I pull my hair back, I start to look like a guy, and it's like, no, you don't need that. Especially not in this administration.
Very feminine hair. You have very feminine hair for sure.
And I'm amazed, and the thing that I'm really really amazed at is that I've still got this stuff. Because remember, I was born a male, and I am so damned lucky. It's a little thinner now than it used to be, but that male pattern baldness did not rear its ugly head, and I transitioned at 52.
Right. No, you're very fortunate for sure. Do you think that it's the hormones? Do you think that had anything to do with it?
Well, now keeping the hair as it is, the hormones definitely have something to do with it.
Yeah.
I would like to know what it was prior to my going on HRT that kept my hair going. I have to wonder sometimes if my physiology was not that of a normal male, if you want to put it that way.
Right.
For one, I grew like a girl. My puberty began, I think about age 8. And
oh wow!
I was finished.
That's so confusing.
I was finished growing at age 14.
Yeah. Oh, I was done growing at 13. Yeah.
Yeah, I stood.
Yeah, I haven't grown an inch since I was 13.
Okay. Yeah, at the age of 14, I stood 5'9", 170. And everybody else, and did not grow at all since. Since that.
That's really tall for age 14.
Yeah.
I guess Well, my oldest daughter is 5'11", and was 5'11" before she started high school.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Now, what the thing that makes me shudder is that in days gone by, in a different world, uh, your daughter would have been, well, the doctors would have been after you to allow them to administer her estrogen to close the growth plates
Wow.
at an early age, which caused all sorts of problems with the
What?
tall girls.
I didn't know about that. Wow. I'm glad they don't do that anymore.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, she's always been the tallest. I mean, tallest in kindergarten, boys or girls. Taller than both of them. Taller than everybody, boy or girl, until she was in 10th grade. Now, when she was in 10th grade, there were seniors that were taller than her, but I'm talking about her own grade. When she was in 10th grade, there were finally a few boys that were her height or above, but just a few. She's always been. I can lay my head on her shoulder when she stands next to me. Her shoulders right here. Lay my head on it.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, she broke my tailbone on the way out. She's always been huge.
And you'll never let her
Was,
forget it, will you?
that sucked. It was awful. Yeah, that was
Sometimes,
awful.
so,
I was dumb enough to do it again though. I mean, she broke my tailbone and I was like, yeah, I'll do it again. It
you,
wasn't it wasn't just like that. It took me a lot of convincing for sure. But I still eventually
man,
said yes. No. So
that
dumb.
one turnaround would have been enough for me. I'll tell you, I am so happy though that I made the decision to be child free because number one,
Right?
what kid would want me for a parent?
You
Number,
keep saying that, and every time you do, I want to pinch you. Stop saying that.
well, the other thing though is the way I view it. It takes something really, really special to be a parent. I didn't have it, and I knew it. It's the whole relating to the young children. I don't know how to talk to the kids, and I am so
I
afraid
had
that.
friends with parents like that. You
Say again.
know, I had friends with parents like that. I had friends that had parents like that talk to and like their own kids. They just couldn't. It was always just do your homework. Okay, see you at dinner. It was very,
Okay. Now,
very weird.
when they start to become human, about age 13 or 14, okay, maybe I can start to talk to them. But
No, you just
I
talk to them like they're regular human beings.
yeah, I mean,
You don't talk down to them. You don't adjust your vocabulary, nothing. You just talk to kids the way you talk to anyone else.
I'm a baby and kid magnet. Strangers.
Stranger
yeah,
kids love me, and I don't like
Oh, they'll
kids.
love me. Yeah. Oh,
And
I see.
they just gravitate towards me. And I was babysitting this one girl, and she said, "My mom says you don't like kids," and I said, "Exactly." She goes,
Oh
"Does
wow.
that mean you don't like me?" And I said, "Cute doesn't impress me." And she goes, "How do I get you to like me?" And I said, "Be a human being." And she's like, "What?" I'm like, "Don't rely on you being little and cute to get anything you want from me. You gotta earn
yeah.
it by being smart, kid." And she went, "I can do that." Okay, you do that then.
For some strange reason, the kids always like me too. And the strangers' kids, they'll, hi, all this. And I'm at the ballpark, and well, okay, I have the bottle of soap bubbles, and I'm blowing bubbles at the ballpark, so the kid sees the bubbles, and she want, hi, can I do that too? And it's like look over at her mom, yeah, 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 okay, here, that sort of thing. It's like, come on, get it done. Let's get this over with. You know, the next inning is starting.
Hey guys.
Hi.
Well, hello, Duke.
Well, there he is. He's been
Are you
down
awake?
in the mud all this time.
How you doing, man?
Doing good. I can't stick around very long because I'm at work, but I wanted to jump in and just say to Johnny that was a great song. I really loved it.
Oh, thanks. Thank you.
Johnny is very talented.
Yes, he is.
Thank you. Thank you.
He also has an immense talent of finding YouTube prospects with a lot of potential, doesn't he? when they do response videos to Catholic answers. You're responsible, Johnny. It's
Oh,
I am all your fault. Okay.
Aww.
I'll take credit for it.
Johnny found me. If you look at it was my response to "Are Atheists Open-Minded?" if I remember correctly. You'll see Johnny's comment to me that got me into the community. And thank you, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome. I haven't done that for a while. I used to just find new people that are just starting out doing their YouTube thing and trying to promote them.
yeah, Johnny's special to me too.
That's right. I haven't done that for a while.
Love
But...
He was the very
Special,
first
huh?
person I ever saw. Yep. He was the very first human I ever saw on the other side of my computer screen.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
I was like, how do I you got it.
Oh, what am I forgetting?
Yes. God, you sound like me, Faye. In the grocery store, what I love to do is I'm going through getting over to the checkout aisle, and if there's some random person standing there, I'll turn to that person. What am I forgetting? And they look at me like I'm from Mars or something. And it's like, you know, it's
If you did that to me, I would just name something random at you.
There you go. But I always forget something. I'll go to the grocery store, get stuff, and then a couple hours later go back to get the stuff I forgot when I was there previously.
I never
And
remember the thing I was there for to begin
Right,
with. It always
right.
takes 2 trips.
Yeah. And then what's really great is the next day, I will go back to remember to get the stuff I forgot to get when I went back to get the stuff that I forgot to get the first time. I have absolutely no memory. I'm a scatterbrain.
Like the opposite of circular reasoning. It's like circular forgetting or something.
Yes. Oh, boy. Hopefully somebody is not coughing up a lung.
Not at the moment. Hey guys, I just wanted to jump in and say hi. It's good talking with you. Hope you guys have a great evening.
Yeah, have a good one.
Well, you
I
be
hope
good.
you feel better.
No, I won't be good. That's against my rules.
Oh, okay. Well, be good at it.
I will. Good night, guys.
Night.
Good night. I'm going to have to jump out of here soon.
Oh,
yeah.
my.
Well, it's almost midnight.
Yeah, it is, come to think of it.
I got to shovel the driveway.
Say what, hon?
I got to shovel the driveway. I got to just a pad or whatever in front of the garage. But man, there's a lot of snow out there.
Oh man,
do you just shovel or do you have a method?
I got a shovel for the one part there, but for the driveway I use the 4-wheeler, the quad with the plow on it.
Yeah, I don't have one of those. I have to use a method.
Method? What exactly is a method?
I go to the furthest part, and then I just shovel like little stripes, and I just keep working that way, and then I get to the halfway part, and then I shovel in the other direction.
Nice
I have 2 piles instead of the one, but
yeah.
keeps me from breaking my back.
I was all smart and built a bigger deck too around the house this last summer, so even more to shovel there.
Well, aren't you further north? Isn't it cold? You can do it with a broom.
No, it's all wet. It came down pretty wet. It's like 8 inches of thick, wet snow.
Oh, I'm sorry. I hate it when it happens.
I know. I'm gonna cry. No, I'm not gonna cry. I'll be okay.
God, I hate it when it snows wet and deep.
Yes, and that's what it kind of did.
Yeah, when you have the 4-foot drifts and you have to take slices.
And usually it'll really drop really cold after it snows like that too. So it's wet and then it turns into ice pack.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I have to deal with tomorrow morning when I get up.
That's one
Because
nice
we're gonna
thing.
get snow all night.
One nice thing about this place is I don't have to do the sidewalk maintenance.
Do you see my appeal for LA now?
Okay. But I'd still like to own a house of my own, but I don't think that's going to happen this week.
I want a farm.
Now you're talking. Now you're talking.
The farm is nice. I live out in the country, so.
I want a farm.
Raising moose and borks and quacks and
About 20 acres. That's enough.
Oh yeah.
Okay, that would be about
That's more than I need.
That would be about the size of my cousin's place.
About
yeah,
20
that's
acres.
A nice size.
That's sustainable enough for one person.
I would be happy with 10.
Yeah, happy enough, actually.
You know, I could get everything I need done, plus have a lot of extra room, and that would be lovely. But I'll never get it.
Well, you never know.
No, I'll never get it. It's fine.
You never know. You never know.
It's like, I don't know. I had a lot of friends when I was growing up who were always lamenting about the things they thought that they deserved that they didn't get. And there's a lot of stuff that I'd like, but if I never get them, I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Yeah, I've lived a pretty good life, I have to say. I can't
You know,
much.
I'm not a shoulda, woulda, coulda person. I just know what I want.
Exactly. That's sort of like an Eastern philosophy.
What do you mean?
Eastern philosophy, it is what it is, you know, it's the truth. You just accept the truth for what it is. You don't try and change the truth.
Right. Well, I mean, if change comes, I'm not going to balk at that either.
Well, but that's for what it is.
Yeah. It's, I can't lament what I don't have, and I'm not going to lament what I do have and be ungrateful. You know, that would be stupid.
Yeah, I don't even know how to lament, so.
I do. You are so silly. But you know what I mean.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Purple. Hi, Purple.
There is the purple person.
Kitty cat.
Purple is cool.
You want to be on camera? You want to be on camera? It's our bean.
Uh-oh, the beans woke up.
Pink, Mr. Bean. Uh-oh, you better get your treats ready. Hi.
What?
You need to go outside. Do you need to go outside? Okay. You can do that.
Why can't I read this?
We'll do that in a minute, okay?
Huh?
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Oh, okay.
Here's...
I blew it.
Yeah, she likes that.
Somebody's really, really happy now.
Yeah, she loves that. Look at that sweet baby. Oh, it loves her mommy.
Yeah, she really likes that nape of the neck thing.
Yeah, so does my Delilah. Hey, who's that?
You is that
Wanna go get
kittiness?
sugar? Go get it.
You is that kittiness? Yes, you is.
Oh, I have to. So.
What the hell?
Yes, dear.
Every time people send me weird things and it's like unsupported file type.
Oh, Peter did something on
Was
his
it?
channel.
I only have to. Okay.
Anyway,
I have to take
So
this
what
doggy
kind
for a
of
walk.
what kind of file did you get sended?
Somebody's book.
Oh no, how many ebook formats are there?
I don't know, but I just told them. I just wrote back unsupported file type. I I feel bad because people will occasionally send me what they wrote, and I know that I tweet pretty sloppy and I don't write consistently online because one, I don't give a shit. I'm not trying to impress anyone. But like if it's story format and I put on the English major, um I hope my criticisms aren't too heavy. They're not meant to be.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I used to teach this crap. So, you know, I'll be honest. It's not that they can't write. It's just cadence.
Okay.
It's a cadence.
Yeah.
So, I'll correct that. But anyway, I better run.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna.
I have to make my lunches for tomorrow, and I don't trust myself to talk and use the knife at the same time.
Oops. Well, I suppose then in that case, when Christy gets back, I'll shut things down. Because yeah, it is after midnight, and we
Yeah,
all
it's like
probably want to get to bed.
12:07 now. So
Well, for three of us, it's after midnight, and
11
there's
for me.
another one who's pulling up the rear here.
well, it's a matter of shoveling for Johnny.
Yeah. Yeah, I got another hour yet till midnight, so.
Do you have neighbors close by? Will they mind? Or?
No, I'm pretty well out in the country.
Oh, okay, good. Because sometimes if I go out there at like late hours, I'm always worried about making too much noise when I'm
Yeah,
trying to
the
keep up.
one lady, she's like 85 and she can't hear anything, so.
Unfortunately, I have downstairs neighbors, so I have to be really quiet on the stairs. Even though they're not quiet at 3 o'clock in the morning, sometimes they'll like have a fight, and it's like, you should be asleep. What do you care about if it's 3 o'clock in the morning? Go to sleep, you stupid assholes. But other than that, but
I'll make sure that they don't get waken up. I hope.
but yeah, I'm gonna pop out. I'm sorry, Lavender. Just
yeah.
Oh, he's okay on that. Like I say, it's probably about the natural time to sort of start winding down here.
Yeah.
And
I was on the phone with my mom for most of tonight, and I was trying to convince her that a birthday card with a squirrel and some nuts on it were okay, but she didn't agree with me. So.
Oh my. Okay.
We're having arguments about squirrels.
Well, there's worse things to have arguments about, I guess.
You'd be surprised what we argue about, but I try not to make her too crazy.
Nothing surprising when it comes to arguing with family members. I've seen a lot of weird arguments.
I have too, and usually I'm involved in some way. But I mean, family, you know,
Uh,
you do what you can.
yeah, you can't choose your family.
Yeah, but none of mine are really like they look normal, they sound normal, but if you're really listening, you realize, oh, these people are just batshit crazy.
Okay.
And it's like, yeah,
As far as it goes, it's me, my mom, and my brother, and the rest of the family. Don't really talk to them much.
Well, it was really funny. Like one time, I had
Oh,
a
Christy, that
holiday
sounds
thing,
great.
and my boyfriend had to hide the super glue from my mom because he thought that she was going to glue everything to the table, including herself.
Oh wow.
So,
Oh.
so I'm like, why are you doing that? And he goes, because your mother's playing with the glue. And I'm like, let her play with the glue. If she gets stuck, we can run away. But anyway, I'll talk to you later.
Hey, Faye.
Okay, sweetiness, you be good, and love you dearly, and
Yeah,
yeah,
this is fun. And are we gonna do something about the like gardening tweets I was
I was
tweeting?
just about to say yes. Should we get together tomorrow to work out a time?
Yeah, cause I was planning on doing something like that anyway.
Oh,
So
great.
I'll have the
Yeah.
When are you
I'll.
going to improvise me anyway?
Do you want to talk about gardening too?
No. When are you going to give me an inquisition thingy?
Ooh. Are you are you gonna be around tomorrow? We can set up a time.
Let me. Won't be till later. I got to work tomorrow. I gotta work till about 5, 6 o'clock somewhere along there. I think I'll be done with the job I'm
Well,
doing.
just
So about
give
6,
me
7 o'clock for us.
give me a DM, Johnny, and we'll work. We'll make a date and a time, and then
Yeah.
I'll grill you like a fish.
All right.
Yeah, it'll be
Yeah, because
crispy, Johnny.
You
as
gonna
far
learn
as the
things about me as
gardening
you do it.
goes, would one of these Sunday streams be good, or would you want a different time?
It's entirely up to you, my dear.
Okay, because the first thought I had was to do it on the next Sunday stream.
Okay.
Yay. Okay, that sounds like fun, but we can still talk back and forth on that, and then we'll just go from there
Okay.
once I wake up.
And vibrantly Brantley, send me a DM, okay? Because I have a brain like a sieve. And no, I don't have a boyfriend, Landon. And Christy, if you want to talk about gardening too,
Yeah.
you're definitely invited. You're always invited. But I think she's with Mr. Bean,
Yeah, I think
so
so maybe.
she can't talk back because she's on a potty run. But I'm gonna get going, and we'll 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 hook up tomorrow and see what we can decide, and that'll be good. And I don't know.
Something like that.
I was just confused all the time.
And then yeah, the other thing is you had mentioned that you wanted to oh, what's the word for it? In you wanted to inquisition me, did you not?
Yes.
We'll work on that one too.
Yes.
All right, we'll get a hold of you then, Faye, and I'll DM you tomorrow sometime.
Right. And I have a couple of questions before we decide on that too, because I have
Yeah.
more. I have so. Anyway, yeah. I have to shut up, or I'll keep talking. All right. Have a good one.
You too.
Enjoy, honey. You
Good
take care.
night.
Good
Night,
night.
night. And
And
I'm gonna thank everybody on the side chat for coming by, and I love having you along with this wonderful chat. Johnny, you take care. Be good. Have fun.
Yeah, you too. I'm out of here.
Yay. Okay.
Adios,
And,
everybody.
Adios, Johnny. And to everybody, thank you so much. And thanks a lot, troops. See you on the other side.